Lost Boys. So we had an unfortunate event 2 weeks ago. We had an amazing stream. I thought it was
I thought we had a great conversation.
Right.
great shit, and my dumbass forgot to turn on the mic. So we had a nice thing uploaded. It was crispy, fucking beautiful.
I mean, we were
And-
switching angles.
And all you saw was mouths moving. And
Sorry about that.
to the 10 people that tried to watch it, but love to those 10 people who tried to watch it.
For real.
That much, like.
That is love. For our first one with no promotion, nothing, you just tried to hop in.
And it's like,
We
yo, what
appreciate
is
that. And hopefully you won't be
Unhappy
upset
love.
that the audio works this time.
I didn't even look at how many subscribers that are on
The Lost
channel.
Boys page.
Yeah.
It's like 600.
Mhm.
So, it makes sense that at least 10
Out
be
of that,
like,
exactly.
oh,
Mhm.
what they got? What is this? Is this something
That's
new?
it.
We had to have popped up on their like subscriber thing, like, oh,
Type
Yeah,
shit,
that's what
type
it was
shit.
when we were testing it the other day. It just pops up on your homepage if you're on there. Anybody that you're actually subscribed to it will, at least.
yeah.
That's kind of sweet. I mean,
It is
look,
awesome.
as much as we've been using all these apps for so long, it's like I barely know how they work. So it's kind of cool to
kinda
see
funny.
Yeah.
how it all gets laid out, all gets played out. It's kind of money. I'm just curious to see how many times Moss quotes himself this.
Should we have a count from last
I
time?
think it was like 6.
I think I was gonna say 5 or 6.
Yeah, I think it was like 5 or
Yes.
6. So we'll see what happens today. Boys.
You had
I can
one.
tell you there's a possibility.
Ew.
There's a large possibility. I'll be doing it in regular conversation.
You're like when I gotta be spitting, you're like then it really comes out.
I say a lot of quotes that I think that could be used in life.
And that's one of them. That's 6 of them. That 6 of them be your own fucking quotes. I love that. But yeah, I think that some of the things that we were kind of touching on, primarily, most importantly, minus all the beautiful conversation, is Stay Stupid came out. Fucking. Oh no, that's not.
Stay
Stay
Stupid.
Stupid is the fucking.
You're
that's-
stupid.
Yeah, I'm stupid. That's the fucking.
Don't worry about Moss.
Moss is
Don't
what
worry-
came
oh,
out,
yeah.
and Stay Stupid was the fucking single off that shit.
Yeah.
But Don't Worry About Moss has come out. Goldie's fucking Lions Den is coming out in 2 weeks from now. At this point, maybe even a little
Okay,
bit.
so we got an
less.
actual date now.
We got an actual date.
Yeah,
Okay.
next Friday.
Next Friday? Okay.
Next Friday, guys.
So we had 2 monumental things happen. Well, like one happened, one happening, but both of those had been announced, and both of those had been in the works for a little bit, which was super fucking sweet. Seeing that Lost Boys just continue to fucking drop shit. We know Moss drops shit, like he fucking drops shit, left and right.
I feel like you got it, and I want to be able to be the person that when they favorite artists ain't cracking off, then they come and listen to us.
You could cheat on
I
your
love
favorite
that.
artist. You
on
can
your
cheat.
You
can
won't
also
tell.
cheat on your girl, but cheat on your favorite artist
Cheat
first.
cheat on your favorite artist first, and then we'll
And
work on it. You
The
know
other
what I'm
stuff,
saying?
but definitely cheat on your favorite artist.
Yeah.
Any of the Lost Boys will be your favorite artist, and that's just, I think, fact.
I agree.
I don't think there's much. No matter what lane you're trying to touch on, whether you're trying to be on some more, I don't know. I definitely wouldn't call Moss like a conscious person, but I'd say you're well aware. Like, so I wouldn't say it's conscious rap, but you're definitely an aware rapper.
It's conscious
type
music
shit.
you could get ratchet to.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's exactly.
That
Conscious
was a
music you
coined
get.
phrase that this girl that I used to knock down coined it as, and I was like, damn, you're right.
And I think that's exactly what it is. It's conscious music you could get ratchet to.
I agree.
I think Goldie comes with, I don't know. I guess you could also say the same type shit. Like,
Basically.
I guess you could say that same type shit. I guess all 3 of us, but it's just such different vibes when you start
That's
getting
what it
into
is.
it. It's like
Different
all of us are like spitting. All of us are talking real shit. But you're gonna get 3 completely different sounds that at the same point just work so well together when you listen to something like Through Hell or High Water, or when you get into the new shit that's gonna be Kill Bill. I think there's something that's just cool about having different people, but who can come together so seamlessly and effortlessly at the same point on that same token.
It's like when you look at a dope painting, you're looking at this Beatles painting right here, and you see the different colors, and you go, that doesn't go together, but it goes perfectly together. That's why people like Wu-Tang, I think, because it was like they all had different styles, but they were all similar in a way where it fit.
Mm-hmm.
Or Outkast.
Or exactly
Right.
any of them, any
Yeah.
group, any type group. Like, I think if you have too much of the same thing, it
Clashes,
won't work.
yeah.
It clashes. It doesn't.
It's
It
boring.
doesn't. Yeah, it's boring. It doesn't let somebody else shine. Right.
Mhm.
It's like you kind of don't even know the difference on who's rapping at a
Mhm.
certain point.
Yeah.
Where it's like. I don't know. We all just have our fucking flavor. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I've
I
never
think we all have
mistaken
our
Moss
flavor.
for Triple when he comes on the track.
Everybody has their own style, and when you hear it, you go, "Oh, that's uniquely them."
Beyond so.
Yeah.
Beyond so.
Even just the way that we write too, like we could say the same thing, and all three of us will say it in a
In
different,
a different
way.
way. Yeah. Amen.
And that's what makes it dope.
But that's music, right? I think that's art, right? It's
Yeah.
like I see like painting classes, right? And they'll be like, draw this. It's that same thing. It's like everyone's gonna have their own interpretation of that same like
Totally.
draw a fucking waterfall.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna draw a different waterfall, but it's all a waterfall.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a different waterfall. Draw a tree. Everyone's gonna have a different tree, but it's all a tree. So I think you did nail it on the point. That's just what art is, and that's the beautiful thing. That is the beautiful thing.
I also like it's crazy because when me and Goldie were heading over here, we were driving and like
On the date.
yeah, like, you know,
Kava
and,
date.
our Kava date. We have like these moments that, like I don't know, I don't like to have dull moments where there's not something that's worth talking about.
Mhm.
So we're talking, and then we started talking about how music has become synonymous with each other, meaning like there used to be a time where you could hear artists and go, "Oh, he's from the South.
Right.
Oh, he's from like
Very
the
much
East
so.
Coast, or he's definitely from the West Coast." But now I can hear an artist who's from the West Coast, but he sounds like he's in Atlanta, or I can hear a dude that's in Atlanta,
Yes, sir.
but he sounds like he's from New York, or a dude from New York who sounds like he's from Houston. So it's like we all kind of like there is no like actual thing.
There's
anymore.
no that sound isn't like that anymore. 100%. And I guess on that same token, but in a little bit different, what are y'all's thoughts on Kendrick being the Super Bowl fucking halftime show instead of Wayne in Wayne's hometown?
I think that's the only thing that makes it crazy is that it's Wayne's hometown. Because other than that, I didn't know Wayne was on the radar to do
Other than that, I don't think he'd have any reason to be upset.
it. Wasn't
You know.
I didn't even know that he was on the radar to do it.
Neither did
don't
I, so
think
I saw his
has
video of
nothing
him
to do-
upset.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with him being on the radar to do it, as opposed to it's his
It's his
hometown,
city.
and who's done more for that city than fucking Wayne.
Totally. I mean, I
In
think
music,
it would have been
nah,
dope.
no.
Right? Exactly.
I think it would have been dope. I mean, we were talking about it the other day. I think you see people on TikTok and Twitter arguing, like he can't perform as well as Kendrick can, and sometimes you see a video that supports that with him mumbling or screaming. But at the same time, I think that would have actually been something that would have been less about the money and more about the purposefulness behind it, of saying, hey, we as a sport do recognize that music is a part of our culture, and we want to recognize someone who's done so much for this place that we're located in this place for this event, making a lot of fucking money. Because it wouldn't matter if it was Wayne or Kendrick in terms of the funds that they're going to make. I really don't think so.
No.
Wayne's got a catalog just like Kendrick, if not more pop hits than Kendrick, which is probably why he's upset, right? Because
Well, I would ask too. Then I don't remember, but what city was it when Dr. Dre and Snoop and 50
Detroit.
I don't remember. Like we'd have to look that up, because if it was in LA, then it starts to make sense. Like if that one was in LA and you had
I don't
Dr.
think it
Dre and
was.
them come out for LA, okay, then it makes sense. Like if they have it in New York and it's like, I don't know, Jay-Z or somebody, like it
It
makes
was in
sense.
LA.
then.
At
It
SoFi
was in-
Stadium.
Oh, it was?
At SoFi Stadium.
Oh shit, I'm fucking.
So
wrong.
then now it makes sense where you're like, oh well, then obviously
Like, you did your thing.
The
Why- this was
2022 in Inglewood,
Okay, then
California,
I would be more
SoFi
bitter because of
Stadium.
that.
It
I would be.
has to-
It had to be Dre.
Yeah.
It had to be Dre. So,
So
it gets back to that
if you
same
go
point.
into New Orleans, it has to be Lil Wayne.
I agree. And he would have brought out pretty much anybody that you would want to see. He would bring out, like, not that he would bring out Drake, but he'd bring out like the Drake, Mary J. Blige. He'd bring out the people
He
that.
did bring out
Or all the
everyone
people
that's
that he worked with. Like,
Yeah.
literally.
really?
I mean,
and he's worked with damn near everybody.
Yeah.
but that's where, see, because it's on Jay-Z. Because Jay-Z's the one who's.
I didn't know that until I think today.
So
I
it's
read
like,
that this
they
morning.
got beef. They have they used to make shit together. Like
Yeah, because
like-
apparently Jay was one of the first people who funded Wayne, right?
I don't know.
Oh, it was like during his Cash Money like dispute, but
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that it would be completely on him to just make solely that choice. I don't think
I think he solely made the choice.
So
of Kendrick.
So he's the only one who makes this. I
He's
think
the
it's a
gatekeeper.
group of people who make a choice, and he's like he's like.
It could be, yeah. I don't know. Yeah,
you know?
probably. That's probably true. That's probably true. But I'm sure the sway that Jay's got is like,
It's
yo,
huge
if I
pull.
say, yeah, if I like, I think this person would do type shit.
Yeah.
They'd probably be like, you know what, Jay knows what the fuck is good.
So then, okay, because I like to be able to see the whole picture. And
Yes, which you need to be able to do.
% think that Wayne should do it in his city if they're doing it by city.
I agree.
I will also say on the business aspect, Kendrick just dropped probably one of the most
Iconic
classic
songs
of
ever.
songs of all time right
Yeah.
now, especially when it comes to like
Yeah, but who?
controversy and making
Yeah.
people want to pay
Yeah.
attention.
Mm-hmm.
But
That
does
has
it
to be
matter
why.
about right now, or does it
'Cause
matter
it's
about their
business.
whole? Yeah, I guess.
No,
But-
it does matter
but they're
about right now if
selling-
it's capitalist.
But the Super Bowl sells out regardless. They have Taylor Swift fucking performing in the fuck. Rich, you think anyone at the Super Bowl wants to listen to Taylor Swift? Fuck no.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
saying that she's not
Nowadays-
tied to that.
nowadays, the
I'll
way
be
they've
hon-
changed
I'll
the
be honest,
NFL.
There's a lot of people who would want to hear Taylor Swift.
I'm not saying want to hear Taylor Swift, but go to the Super Bowl
Uh-huh.
to make money on Taylor Swift. Or do you think the Super Bowl is selling? They're selling out every single ticket at the Super Bowl, regardless of Taylor
Yes.
Swift.
Yeah,
Yeah, they might have more people during the halftime show who are watching at home.
right.
And that's when they want.
But are they
people
making
view.
That's
money
where
on that?
totally. That's where they're
Yes.
having all their ads. That's where they're making a lot of their
Yes,
revenue
that's
is
a
because
big
of that.
slot for them.
Yeah.
They literally make commercials for the year
Yeah, they
based
do.
upon
Yes,
the
they
Super
do.
Bowl.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
So
fact.
it's like you want to have as many eyes on that
That's fact.
halftime as possible.
I guess.
How many people would go Wayne's on? And that's to me that I think is terrible because I love Lil Wayne.
Right.
You
Lil
would
Wayne
never.
is-
Exactly.
I don't
I would
fall into
never
that, yeah.
do that. But how many people
Would.
would? How many people still listen to Wayne till this day?
I mean, us.
I mean, I know that I do, but I don't know other people that do.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
And he hasn't dropped anything.
But getting back to
recently.
that same point, what about Dre? Who do people listen to Dr. Dre?
I mean, I'll say that
The same way that an old head would listen to Dre, you think old heads would still listen
That's
to
what.
Wayne.
That's
It should
kind of
be
my
the same.
point, though. Is
Yeah.
that it's the same in my
Should be.
like
Little
yeah.
different. It's a little different.
Well, because he still produces.
Nah,
Or
because
he's still-
there's a difference between like classic and being the voice of a generation. Dr. Dre made something classic. That means if I'm black, white, brown, Asian, it doesn't matter what I look like. Everybody has heard this
Yeah.
and knows of this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne was like the voice of a
a
generation.
era. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
he was that generation. So anything before that, they don't really rock with him that much, and anything after that, they don't really rock with him that much.
But he's still.
I don't see it.
I
I still
think-
think he's fucking got it, bro.
I think
I mean,
He's
I
one of the
think so,
only
too.
people
Who still
who's
does
fucking
features.
got it like that.
He's
Exactly.
Still, he's the only motherfucker that still will murder anybody on their
Yes.
own song on the
No
feature.
doubt about it.
This I'm not gonna say that it's not the truth. He's still one of the best rappers alive.
Yeah, but how much people give a fuck? I guess not.
I mean,
How
but
many
you-
people care?
Yeah, I mean, it goes into the people who really care. I mean, there's levels to caring about music, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you really care about music the same way we're talking about being a student, you would know that a product of the main music that's out nowadays, or especially like 5 years ago, was because of Wayne. Wayne was
This
the
whole era of music was birthed for him. It's I mean, this whole era that we have of music is birthed from.
Dude, everyone's
So-
a fucking Lil Wayne copycat.
yeah.
They don't even know.
They don't even know it.
Yeah.
Well, the
It'd be
people who
fucked up
listen
if you don't know it. If you don't
The-
know it,
no,
you
the
don't.
rappers
know,
know
bruh.
it. The rappers who are doing it know it. The audience doesn't.
But
know.
they're not paying homage either.
But
Most of
even
them.
like a lot of the
I think
like
they do,
a
like
lot
the
of the
young
new
fella.
guys, they don't even know why they get face tats and have
yeah,
dreads.
yeah. They
They
don't.
don't
They
know
don't.
It's all
why.
lean.
They don't
It's
know
all
why
lean.
they do lean
Mhm.
and smoke weed every single day. It wasn't because they saw the people from like before our generation.
Because of Wayne.
It's because of Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
He started.
He started it. He was a gatekeeper.
I agree.
But they don't know that because most people don't care about their history. So he's like the voice of our era, and anybody else doesn't really care. Kendrick right now has a song that everybody has heard.
He's got everybody's attention.
Everybody in their mind.
And everybody knows
And
Drake, and everybody knows it's shots at Drake.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it.
And they want to see him called out on the biggest stage in the world, arguably. You know.
So if you like, one thing that I will give a tip of the hat to for Jay-Z is that he is the ultimate capitalist.
Yeah, he totally
Beyond
is.
so.
Agree.
The ultimate
Beyond
capitalist.
Great businessman. I don't think anybody's going to argue that.
And if he has to put feelings before business, he has always put business before feelings.
And I don't think that that's wrong either. But I think that it's...
Can't say it's right, but I'm not going to say it's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm indifferent to it.
But the fact is, like, some people have an opinion. Like, not everybody has an opinion on that shit. They don't fucking care.
Exactly. And if you're gonna be the ultimate capitalist and you're put in the position to represent, you know, the part of the business that is, you know, we'll say different from the business owners.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got to make sure that they making money.
Yeah,
especially if you want your spot to be sitting like
exactly
with the business owner.
Exactly.
You got to make them money. So he had to make a business decision.
Mm-hmm.
Do I do it for Wayne because this is the sentiment that hip hop would need,
or
so? But now we're going deeper into it because then it's like, what's your perception on that? Because if you love rap and you know Jay-Z's a fucking billionaire, you're like, you're basically showing that you love money in your position more than you love rap. And I think that there's something to be said about that. That's not unrespect. I mean, you don't disrespect it, but you kind of like, you wish that you would almost have done it for rap. Because think about it. Like, I was talking with Ian about it. It's like, I don't quote me on it, but the majority of people in the NFL are probably African American people that all these white owners are exploiting and making all this money off of. I think that would have been more for the culture. For people in the NFL, they would have fucked with that shit
definitely.
More than
100%.
doing some shit for the clout.
Because everybody who's big in the NFL right now is from that generation.
Yeah, like
us,
fucking grew
was
up.
the voice of
exactly.
Yeah. So it would mean a lot to them. I would assume.
You would think, yeah, you would totally fucking think.
But at the same time, what do you do it for? You know, it's always that fork in the road. Do I do it for business or do I do it for love? And
yeah,
deal with that as an
Jay-Z
artist.
definitely made it clear, and that he always does it for business,
Yeah.
and that's cool.
He's made that.
He made
clear.
You have a
How
stance.
else-
You have a stance. You don't flip flop.
How else do you become a billionaire? Honestly, how else do you become a
You
billionaire?
don't become a billionaire.
He's not
by-
scumming people, but which is it's better. It's like he's doing it all the right way.
I didn't.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Technically,
he's not
like,
stealing from nobody. He's not
no.
hurting nobody. He's not fucking robbing nobody. But
They didn't have a list of like, oh, Wayne and this person and that person, and then Wayne got no.
yeah,
it was
exactly.
just,
It's like no. We're just putting it out there. Like it's fucking.
here's who's doing it.
Okay.
Now here's a deeper thing though. If I'm Kendrick, do I say no? I think Wayne should do it.
Damn.
I never thought about that one.
Or
I don't know.
Or is Kendrick somewhat of a capitalist as well?
Well, I'm ignorant to the fact. What's Kendrick's position on Wayne? What has he said about Wayne? Has he talked like?
He's always said that how Wayne is one of the best and an influence in his.
Then I think that would have been the dopest fucking thing ever. If he would have been like
Or
a
for
public
all you
statement,
know.
I would love to, but this one belongs to Wayne for what he did for even me as inspiration before I got on.
Yeah.
I think that would have been the dopest shit ever. To be honest, I would have been an even bigger Kendrick fan after that.
Well, there's still time for Kendrick to bring him out, but after
he can bring him
but
out.
after Lil Wayne's, like you said, after his Instagram fucking like
Yeah.
response,
Yeah, he
and
was
he was
hurt.
like saying he was hurt and all
Yeah.
that. Goes to show he wasn't like Kendrick hasn't hit him up. So like if he does even hit him up, it's like either like pity type shit. You know
I mean,
what
they
I'm
got
saying?
one song together, and that was at least that I remember, and that was on Wayne's album.
Yeah, on the latest Carter that came out.
Yeah.
What
Dedication?
No.
What's the name of the song?
No, it's Carter 5.
No, I'm saying it was. I thought that was the name
no,
of the
that's one
song.
of the songs on that
It's,
album.
the song was Mona Lisa.
Mona Lisa.
Oh,
yeah, bro.
fuck, yeah.
And that song goes.
That song is
fucking
crazy.
So like
That would be ridiculous.
you could bring him out for that, and then I guess you let him perform a couple of songs, But at the same time, like I don't know, because if to me, it's hard to say what you would do in that position. Because if I'm in that position, I know that the culture would like it. If it was, wait, do I go? Well, you know what? I can't take it because I think Wayne should have it, and then they go, well, Taylor Swift should have it. I don't know. But,
I guess that's the other side of things too, right?
You know, like if you don't
be
take
like
it,
that, it's like what? Like be thankful I'm even giving you this shot, bitch.
like,
Like,
you know,
like if you don't exact that,
this could be a trampoline for you. So that's why I say is Kendrick somewhat of a capitalist himself, and you have to be, I guess.
I was gonna say, and it's an under like as a person you understand it, right? Like as just like the average Joe, the average middle America who barely even knows rap and it's just like watching my parents, his grandma type shit. It's like they're just watching it, and the person who's at the halftime show has got to be huge, right? So they're just assuming it's just some huge star, whether they know them or not, know any song or not. I heard the name. They gotta be fucking good. Exactly. I know who Rihanna
I heard the
is.
name, but I don't listen
to her. But I know she's tight, or she's got to be tight because she sold all this shit. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess that's fucking true, man. But it's as the average Joe, it's cool, but as a hip hop head, it's like just a little.
As a hip hop head, you go, damn.
I understand
the normal.
Yes, you can understand her, especially now with the understanding of the LA thing. Yes. I would be even more upset about it because it's like, well, you did that purposefully for LA.
You did do that purposely.
But we're not going to do it for NOLA.
It's not like any of those people who came up had an album coming out. I mean, maybe Kendrick has an album coming out, so it makes sense that he would do it.
I mean, imagine he probably got something in the works after that.
But then it's like, okay, well, then why did we choose Rihanna to do it? And, you know, which one did she do and what city was it in? And, you know, there's a lot of depth to it.
Yeah, you could get into any of it. You can get into any of it, but it's just interesting.
It's very interesting.
It's interesting. And I guess we'll see how it plays out about fucking Super Bowl.
I mean, honestly, I think most Super Bowl halftime shows are pretty shit in my opinion. I don't think Kendrick will have a bad one. I think he'll probably have one of the better ones.
I mean, that also being said, like
bad.
No, but like, think about it. Rihanna's not a bad singer. Her Super Bowl show, 7, probably one of the better ones out of the other ones. The ones before that, they weren't that great.
Yeah, but I could also like say that about Dre's. Like when he brought out every rapper, like it was still just.
I thought it was still whack. Like, to be honest, if I'm speaking honest, there was the
Dr. Dre one when he brought out 50 Cent and like Eminem.
It's just too much.
Like it was just like. And they're going from the box to the other box and all that. And I was just like, yeah, it's still just all right. You know, it's like, and they have
some people thought it was amazing though.
Some people
and they think it's really dope. I've never been like a halftime guy, so it didn't really matter.
Exactly.
Like let's just go toss the football.
I mean, at that point, I'm going to go get something to eat or like play around. And maybe roll up something.
Right.
See where it goes. See how the halftime. So that's your 20-minute break. Right?
That is your 20-minute. You come back and the game's started.
And the game's back. Exactly. I guess.
But to regular people who just, like you said, middle America, they're watching that.
They're watching that shit.
Exactly.
To the same point is to that same point, it's like they know that there's all eyes on them at that moment. It's like you said, the commercials are the biggest shit. Like that halftime.
It's the biggest thing probably besides like Coachella or something. As far as performance goes.
Yes, the biggest
is all of America, bro.
And people who don't even care about music are tuned in.
In that style of music, whether it's rap or the people who don't listen to Taylor Swift, they're forced to listen to Taylor Swift.
Exactly.
Just any of it, you're forced to listen to that section because it's the halftime show.
Yes.
My grandma.
Exactly that, bro. Exactly that, bro.
She's gonna have to listen to Katy Perry, whether she knows who Katy Perry is or not.
And she might be happy that she listened.
And she might be happy.
Like, that was an amazing show. And we'll be sitting there like, what the fuck was that?
Grandma said to herself she kissed the girl and she liked it too.
My God.
Sorry.
I remember.
I remember way back when.
It's just, I don't know. It's a dope thing to kind of give people stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
I just didn't know, like, Wayne was... I didn't know that they had, like, a list of people that they were selecting from.
Me neither.
You know, so when Wayne was like he was hurt, I was like, well, I didn't even know that you were like.
See, I don't think it was that though. I don't think it was that. Yeah. I don't think it was about being on the radar. It's just that this is my hometown.
It's his city.
How do you not give it to me? I think it's more so that is that it's like
it has to be.
You would just assume. Yeah. Like you would just fucking.
Because it's not like he's washed up and like not in the conversation.
Yeah, it's like
he's he would be a thought.
Yeah.
You would be like, oh yeah.
He's just not.
Should we
he's
go with
just
Wayne?
not recent.
And then Jay's like,
Kendrick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like,
yeah. I was like, I wish I could do a good Hov impression.
It's not gonna work.
Oh my god! But that is what fucking probably happened. To be honest,
He's not relevant at the moment. He's
a lyricist.
one of
he's
the
a rapper.
greatest artists of all time, and he's just not relevant enough. That's.
I was listening to Wayne yesterday.
Yeah, after
What?
we were talking about this shit.
No, it was just on my playlist.
Oh. Yeah.
I mean, I
We
just
happen to be talking about
I
it.
just go through the Carters just so I could just keep up with skills, just so I
See,
can.
that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. It's like,
I just
imagine
go back through this
fucking
and listen.
Lollipop being played in the fucking
That'd be nuts.
Super halftime show. Like, bro, that'd be insane.
The more that we talk about it, the more I just like. I really wish it was.
Like, I really wish it was happening, bro.
I would have liked to see it.
Like,
There's so much he could go through, like old tracks too.
that's what he would have.
He
to
would.
do.
He would.
If
He
it
would
was
go. He would do the
nothing
whole.
new, like nothing new, like only through like.
Bro, but
His
think
early
about
shit.
think about what a good like
Hustle
Super Bowl song
music.
like "What About Me" is from his last album. Like how like that's a mainstream type of song like that everybody would fucking vibe to.
He has and then he has like classic stuff that players know that are like about players. Like he could have did the Kobe Bryant song, or he could have did like it's just a bunch of stuff that he
A
could do.
milli, bro.
A milli, bro.
He went as fucking
6'7".
Dude,
like,
6'7". Oh
Right,
my
it could've
god,
just
bro.
been-
That's my point. Like, but that's the era I'd want him to perform. Like, if he was to do it,
Yeah.
I'd want all of that shit. Like when
Yeah.
he's like,
when he was
think we hit
literally
some shit.
on top of the game. Literally on top of the game. And I find myself wondering, well, when did it stop? And I feel like if I really think about it, the time that it stopped, it was because he decided to be basically like an A&R besides like while part-time killing everybody's track. He decided, I'm going to take the spotlight that's on me and I'm going to put it on all of these other people.
literally, bro.
And that's what he did.
Yeah.
Because the spotlight was literally just on him. Like for the longest
For
of
sure.
time. It
For
was
sure.
just like it was Wayne or nothing. And then he decided, hey, I got this new artist and
there would be no Tyga. There'd be no Nicki. There'd be no Drake. There'd be no Currency. Those are full.
Right, and then you
fucking
got- and then-
huge
That's only direct
people.
involvement.
and you got to think about all of the people who like came because of them. Like
Mm-hmm.
and he literally
All the
just
female,
said,
every
"Here's the
female
spotlight
rapper,
for me."
you
Literally,
know,
bro.
And he literally changed it by having
minus
Nicki
Lauryn
Minaj.
Hill.
Like, bro,
Yeah.
like here's spotlight on me. I'm gonna put it on them, and they're called Young Money, and I'm gonna yell Young Money on everything, so you'll always think about Young Money. And then next thing you know, he goes to jail for a little bit, and Drake just goes.
Literally, bro.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
That
I
is what
remember.
happened. That's the only reason Drake in my eye that Drake became Drake.
Drake,
Became Drake.
He
when
was like
went to
seated
jail.
as the prince.
yeah,
King, the
And
king
then
was
he
in
went-
exile.
was in
He was in
exile.
exile.
Someone
And
had
it's
to take
someone
over,
had to take the throne.
and he
and
did,
he,
Take the throne.
and he just came right in.
and he did.
I mean, that being said, good for Drake to be able to execute
Absolutely.
and to be able
I mean,
to
it
even
takes-
step up to the
Oh
plate,
yeah,
to be able to even
100%.
fill those. Not that
Yeah.
I think he did, but to be able to fill those shoes,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, wow. And then like what you guys said though, it's like, and then there would
You
be
got
no
Nicki
what?
Minaj.
It's like there would be no Cardi B if there was no Nicki Minaj.
there's no
there would
Cardi
be no, you know what I'm saying? Like there
there's
would
none
be
of these female rappers
No-
without Nicki going in. and
without
going,
Nicki.
okay, we're dope too. And Nicki did it because she was dope.
She was dope.
Dude,
as
that was
fuck.
like the
Like-
dopest, like her early shit, bro.
the craziest shit ever.
Bro,
just
like she
rapping
spits,
her
like
ass
actually rapping,
Like
her
rapping
fucking
with
ass off.
dudes.
You remember
Bars
Monster?
Dude, of course.
What? I still can.
I
like,
can still-
recite
I
the
can still-
bars,
same
bro.
here.
What?
Bro,
Yes.
she might have out-rapped both of them type of shit, you know?
But Wayne was definitely hitting that.
They all hit it. They all hit it.
That's why I was. Used
On,
to
but
wonder,
to
I never
stand
knew.
toe to toe with Hove and Wayne on a track, anybody, let alone no offense, a female, for
Right.
real, like for bars that me as a dude can say, I'm fucking with you. Like,
What?
it's not. That's not just for the chicks. Like,
No,
I'm
that
fucking.
was-
I'm on my.
I'm rapping along with this.
Like, yes.
Yeah, my body. When she said, "Yeah, my money's so tall that my body's gotta climb it, hotter than the Middle Eastern climate." Like
Like she got bars, bro.
Right.
She got bars,
Fucking
bro.
Nicki.
Like, and it mainstream. Like, she would, like, I think she went more mainstream than even, like, before Drake even went mainstream.
yeah,
she
went pop
fucking
before,
mainstream.
Yeah, she
You know
did.
what I'm saying? In a good way. Like
No,
she was just
yes.
rapping her ass off and doing what she wanted and
Yes.
hit mainstream. Like,
Yes,
Because Nicki can sing.
Yeah. That's
Because
When
Nicki
she
can
wants
sing.
to.
what she wants to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moment
Yeah.
for life.
yes.
Yeah.
Like, she can sing.
She
And
can.
that track
She
goes
just don't do it a lot.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
But when she does, like,
But when
that's
she
her
does
pop
it,
record. Is
bruh.
that chorus? Like, I can't name them, but there's like 6 or 7 of those that like
Where
were
she
like
hits it.
platinum songs that she's sang the chorus, and she's like, you wouldn't know that that's from a rapper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
You know.
Literally. Yeah. So
So respect to
Shouts
Nicki.
out-
Shout out
shout-
to Nicki.
shout out Young Money.
Like I and
Shout out
respect, and
Shout out
respect
everybody at Young
for
Money
Wayne
minus a little
for-
twist.
for Wayne for being basically, metaphorically speaking, the Jesus of that era because
Very much so.
he
Very
sacrificed
much so.
himself so the rest of them could turn into megastars because he was the megastar.
But he never, like I said, I don't think he's like, in my opinion, in
Yeah.
my book, he never fell off.
The spotlight, like
The
music
spotlight, yeah,
is-
it went
yeah.
to Drake, and then you have little casts on all these other people.
Yeah,
But like, he didn't stop like a business,
No.
like a straight business person would do
never.
after that and be like,
No.
cool, I'm getting my dividends off of all these
Yeah, I'm in the
people. But
background.
he's like, no, that dude loves to fucking rap,
Oh, he
and he
just
cares
like-
about the culture
Yeah.
and
I just
perpetuating things
love
that are going to be of
that
influence.
interrogation fucking interview of Wayne. Have you guys
Oh,
seen
yes.
that shit when they're just
I
like-
do not recall.
Yo,
That was the funniest.
That was the
shit,
best,
and
bro.
he's being dead ass serious. And then fucking Justin Bieber did the same shit. When
Yes,
he was
he
getting
did. He quoted him, bro.
Kept his
Legendary.
fucking glasses on, and I think he's
It's in the
I don't
disposition,
know.
or whatever. Yeah.
bro.
Deposition, whatever the fuck
Yeah,
it's called.
deposition.
But I do know she had the finest ass. He's like, I do a lot of shows.
I did a party and all.
I do a lot of shows, but I just remember I was at the birthday party. She had the fattest.
Bro, Wayne kept it so A1.
Dude,
bro.
he was so a fucking one,
Oh
bro.
All
my
the time.
He was
gosh,
so
bro.
A1, bro.
I
Like,
don't know if you know this, Mrs. Kirk, but I'm a gangster.
with his face, bro.
Like, bro.
Oh my god, bro. I wish he was like an actor too. Like, he would be a really good.
He would
fucking
play
actor, bro.
I think he's done a couple roles, but he would be a really good actor.
like he would just, yeah, he would just be an amazing
He'd have to be.
actor.
He'd have to be the role that he kind of is.
He plays himself.
But that's,
Yeah,
those
yeah,
are the
like, he'd
best
have to-
people. When
yeah.
you play yourself,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
shit, dude, he would do so
He would be
Minus
good.
Kevin Hart.
fucking well.
Minus Kevin Hart. We've seen it enough times. But yes,
Oh,
anyway.
that's hilarious.
Kevin
Why did everybody feel that way about Kevin Hart?
Hart, when he blew
Like, a lot of my
up,
family
bro,
don't like
his
him.
first 3 stand-ups,
Uh-huh.
they all hit. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
But then, after like 10 blockbuster movies, I don't want to watch Kevin Hart play Kevin Hart. I don't need to see him with Ice Cube. I don't need to then see him in Jumanji. I don't need to see him in with Dwayne The Rock. Like, give me one of those every 3 years and have it not be oversaturated. And then it's like that hit that spot, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like, bro, in my opinion, just stick to the stand-up.
Yeah.
For real.
Because then it's like eating like candy every day.
Right.
Because you're like seeing him boom, 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 boom. I mean, I can't knock him for getting his money.
Hell no.
But I get
Hell
what
no.
I kind of get what you're saying a little bit. 'Cause
And he's
it's like
funny as fuck. I'm not
movie,
saying he's not
show,
funny.
Yeah.
I don't think he can really act, but he plays himself.
Yeah.
You know?
Which
And I-
makes him be able.
Which
to
makes
act.
him to be able to act.
Yeah. But you could put Wayne in some real dope.
Imagine if
like,
he
in
just had
dope
cameos in
movies.
some of those movies, bro. And he's just like, I don't think so.
Like,
He can just
When
the
he's, like,
smallest thing to be
shades
like,
on, bro,
that was
like,
legendary.
real, like-
On some G shit,
Yeah.
bro. Like, he would kill that shit.
Okay, so I don't know if y'all remember, but they had like this like cartoon that T-Pain had. It was called Freaknik. And
Nah.
it came on Cartoon Network. Probably one of the greatest
I never saw it.
cartoon musicals of all time. There's no bar. There's no bar. It is the bar. And Wayne
is the bar.
Wayne plays like himself basically in it. He is just doing the
Oh,
voice.
he's on it,
And yeah, and the character like looks like him and everything.
dude. That's
That's
hilarious,
awesome,
bro.
And he nailed it.
I gotta check that shit.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can't
writing
look
it down
at
to
bro.
remember.
You gotta look. This was when T-Pain was like
the shit too.
that shit. So he got a cartoon on Cartoon Network, and it was called
That
Freaknik.
is too
Bro.
funny.
It's an
bro.
hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, that says The Return of Freaknik.
It's like a cartoon. Yeah, that's it.
The musical is an American
Yep, it's a
animated
musical.
musical produced
Rick
by
Ross
T-Pain.
is in it. Like it's a few people. Snoop's in it.
Rick Ross wasn't Young Money. Rick Ross was Dream Chasers, right? He was a part
No,
of
no,
the-
no.
Nah,
He's Maybach Music.
No,
Well-
but he was originally Meek Mill's shit.
No. Meek Mill signed to Rick.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. But I'm trying to think of
Maybach
who Rick Ross was originally with.
He was
I
originally
think
with
he was-
someone.
I think he was originally with.
Let's find out. You have all the
what's it
answers that are
called?
fucking
It's
hands.
like damn, I'm trying to think of like Uncle Luke. That guy.
I remember Uncle Luke. Says was
Def
Bad
Jam.
Bad Boy Records and Def Jam. In
Mm,
2006, he released his debut single "Hustlin'."
Mhm.
What a debut single! What the fuck?
every
And then he was a subject of a bidding war, receiving offers from Diddy's Bad Boy and Irv Gotti's Murder Inc. until
Murder,
signing a
Inc.
multi-million-dollar deal with Jay-Z on Def Jam.
Okay.
Wow, so he didn't even go either with it. He
Yeah.
went fucking
Def
Def Jam.
Yeah, Def Jam's huge.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Why he was killing.
Dude, how do you come out the gate with "Hustlin'," bro?
Damn.
Like that's just what you had.
Dude,
Like
for real.
how
Like,
many
it-
songs did you have, and then you're
And
like,
then you're
"Hustlin's the
this
front
is
song."
yeah,
Because like that's a strong I don't know a
that
stronger
song
debut
still
song.
to this day.
I could yeah, it's one of those same songs that you just know the whole fucking
Yes.
song
Now,
basically.
that's the
So
song that's like still to a DJ set.
Totally.
Like, everyone was
Still play that at a
fucking
party.
nuts on that shit, bro.
Damn. That album was pretty fresh too, though.
I feel like I don't know if I said this shit to Goldie.
that's
That
too
album
good,
was
dude.
cold.
Now I gotta look at that first album of his.
Bruh, that album was dope. That's when he kind of established himself as as one of them.
Port of Miami,
Mm-hmm.
Push It, Blow, Hustlin',
Yeah.
Cross the Line, I'm Bad, another one, Boss with Dre, For the Low, Where My Money, Get Away, Hit You From. This is a long album, 19 songs.
That's bruh. Is during the time when an album actually meant album.
It's a problem. I was thinking of a different song.
That's another thing that has changed in music is and maybe because it's the business side of things, but people make albums and you get 12 songs, or if you do make a long a long album, it's just the size that a regular album used to be.
Yeah.
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 That's a really good point. Like what you just did, what you released was 22 songs, 24.
Yeah,
Bro.
but that's considered long.
That was what albums used to be. But
That's
it's true.
what
Now an
albums
album
used
is
to be.
half of that. Now an album is you only want just like I forget what it was like in that pound cake or whatever. It was like you only want 2 to 2.5 minutes,
Mhm.
and if you capture it, you don't want longer than that. You want to maintain the
that's what
attention.
SoundCloud
Yeah.
You know?
became,
Yeah.
It's like people's attention span just went lower and lower.
Yeah.
And then shit, now I can admit it's hard for me to watch a movie sometimes. Even a TV show, even a 30-minute TV show sometimes.
Yeah,
After TikTok came out and I'm
It's
used to
so
just
true.
30 seconds to
So true.
max 3 minutes,
yeah.
my attention span is short as a motherfucker.
He's like, I'm not even watching this movie.
I'm like, I
Yeah,
can't
I'm
make it. I
bored.
pull out my phone and I
Like,
start scrolling
yeah,
on
yeah,
TikTok
waiting
with the
for it to
movie
get
in the
to the good
background.
bit.
Same
and
here,
then-
bro, and I hate that. That's
and then
not
it's
good.
like the movie's over, and I'm like, damn, I was just scrolling on TikTok for an hour and a half, but I watched
Not even
100 different fucking videos.
Yep.
In the same span that I watched one movie,
One,
right?
right.
But it's that same thing for a song. It's like if you can capture that shit in fucking 2 minutes or under,
Yeah,
it ends up being kind of better.
And
But
but
people's attention span.
think about the
isn't
difference.
Listening to a 4-minute song used to be tight as shit. If you
That would
had-
be
if
my
there was a
favorite
4-minute
shit. 4 verses.
yeah, bruh.
Yo, 4? Nowadays it's like you want 1 to 2, and
I catch
what you
chorus.
want to catch is you want it to be the feeling to be, wow, I wish there was more instead of that was a great song.
It was enough, and it was plenty.
Right.
It fulfilled me. You'd
It's-
rather
you
read
want
them
it to be
wanting
not
more.
enough.
Exactly. You want
That's
it
an
to be not
interesting
enough.
psychological thing, I think.
So we become insatiable. Seems as if, as the listener, we are insatiable. We can taste it and go, "That was good. Let me." And then that's the business idea behind your song being that way. Is then you go, "Let me play it again."
Again and again and again.
And you
now
do,
it's,
bro.
uh,
And you do.
You know, but it used to be like I remember a time when it was like a 4-minute song that you loved a lot, and you would just play that same song
Totally. I still do.
all day. And
with songs different. I could play a song a million times in a row.
Yeah.
I could listen to a 4-minute song.
Yeah.
I can't watch a 30-minute show.
That's hilarious.
It's sad.
It is weird.
It's just probably boring to you.
Yeah. Something is not stimulating enough to keep your attention.
Because with stories, you gotta you have to build in things. Like you can't just get to the spot.
Yeah.
So you gotta talk about the character. The character's background. Where's the character going? And all that shit is boring. To try to have the face.
But you need to know that shit for it to make sense. Like you just song and you in the first 3 seconds and you the whole song.
Yeah. I'm like about Future. Like as soon as the beat comes on, I hear his voice. I'm like, oh, well, here we go.
Here we go again. Damn. See, that's a new world out there. Right? It's a new world out
So then it's like, how do you take that coming, like living in this world, but also coming from a different day and age of music, and then either blend the two or say, hey, I know what the Matrix, I know what the game is, I know what people want. So how do you strategically play that while still being authentic to what you know and love and grow up? Is it just the fact of, hey, most of my songs, if I average them out, are 2 minutes and 30 seconds, but 2 out of those 14 songs in this album are going to be 4.5, 5-minute songs, and I'm going to spit 3 verses and have each of my guys spit a verse because that's the shit we used to fuck with, you know? I don't know. Or do you just compromise and say, I'm going to give you what you want? I don't think that's not easy for me to wrap my head around is, hey, I'm just going to do this for other people because that's not why I make music, you know?
Yeah, no, I think you do what you want.
Yeah.
I think you still do what you want because I think.
But what if what you want is to make every single song 4 minutes, but that's not going to go? Like, again, do you find yourself in between?
Then because then it comes down to like, I mean, obviously, when you do anything in the world, it's not for nothing. Like, of course, you can do something that you love, but there is I think one of the things that happens when you give is like you give and maybe you don't give to receive, but you would like to receive something for it. Like if I'm crafting a sword because I just love crafting swords, and then this dude who's like a super battle dude and I give that sword to him. Okay, I gave that sword to him, but you're gonna want something in return for that effort and that time and that love that you put into that. So I say all that to say, like if I make a dope song, I could just make that dope song and sit in my room and listen to it all day and never share it with anybody. But you share it so that there could be something in return for that.
Totally.
So then you get caught in like, okay, do I just be authentic to me and not care about this part, which is, you know, the business aspect, or do I understand both of these and you find a way to walk the line?
Yeah, I think you could go either way. I think it comes down to just how important that something in return is to you.
Yeah.
Like, because sometimes, yeah, I think this is exactly that. I think some people will make that sword, and the most satisfaction they can get from crafting that sword is just crafting that sword and seeing the end product and being like, I just made the best fucking sword ever. I dare someone to fucking fuck with me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill their ass. It's just gonna slice them up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't care if they're getting paid for that sword. They don't care if they're giving it then to Caesar to fucking go out and battle with.
Yeah.
It's like they just wanted to fucking know that they have the best fucking sword ever. You know what I'm saying? But some people want fucking everyone else to see that they made that great sword.
Yes.
You know? But it comes down to the person.
Or and like to me also it's like at the end of the day, like you do gotta make money.
Yeah, but you could be like us. Where we're not making money off the sword, we're making money on our bullshit that we don't really love that much.
Yeah.
But we're still making money. It might not be as much money as what we could be if we sold that sword or we sacrificed something on the lesser sword, but we're still making money on the back burner. We're still doing some other shit, right?
Yeah.
But
we make money to pay for
the supplies for the sword, so that you can feel like the shit knowing that you just made the best sword ever.
Yeah.
So
But yeah,
it's person to person.
You love
Yeah.
making
Person to
swords, so you
person.
invest into
Yeah,
making the
it's like
best
some
sword you
people
can.
Will even if they, yeah, and even if they don't have the supplies to make the best sword, they'll make the best sword with their means.
Absolutely.
would you rather craft a sword that wasn't really to what you would like to do, but it brought you a lot of coin because of it?
I think about this all the time.
Or would you rather just craft a sword that you want to craft and know that you just crafted a dope sword?
See, I think I'm the
Yeah.
latter, and I think what it comes down to, and I think we were getting at this in
Last time.
our first podcast, was eventually Caesar's gonna come knocking at your door because word has gotten around town that you got the fucking best sword, and then everyone else is gonna know after fucking Caesar fucks with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Then every other fucking warrior's gonna want your sword.
Yeah.
No diddy.
No, did he? That's hilarious.
No diddy.
I think you're right though, because I mean, this part of what we were talking about last time is like if you're doing it purely for the love, of course you want to be recognized for your talent and your gift of craftsmanship, right? I need to remind myself that I'm making it for the people who admire craftsmanship, who admire the sword for the same reason that I fell in love with the sword. Then those people are going to continue to fall in love with the sword, and they're going to tell other people that love craftsmanship, hey, this guy's got a really good sword. You should at least check it out.
Or why don't you bring your supply? If this is what he could do with that shit, why don't you give him some fucking steel?
Right. Right.
And
Let's
then
see what he could do
and
with
see what
that.
he could do with that steel. Because if he did that with fucking aluminum, I don't know.
With wood,
With
something,
wood,
yeah.
I can only imagine what he
What
would
he
do with
with
steel.
Like it just
It has to go nutty. It has to go nutty.
see. These are the things that I debate in my own mind about, because then I go, well, a part of me feels like if something was dope, then I would want to share it. But like when I was a kid, the reason why I shared it is because, well, I wanted other people to figure out what I had figured out, which is this is dope. Yo, check this out. This is dope. But now that like, I'm in the adult world, well now everybody's trying to share or sell something.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it gets hard, because then it's like, well, yeah, I may have made something really dope,
But so did
and
they.
they
said
might
they
like
did
it
too.
and they may really like it. But the only reason why they're not sharing it is because they're focused on trying to sell what they're trying to sell.
Totally.
I'll use it as a metaphor. Like, well, I'm selling real estate, so why am I going to talk about your sword if I'm trying to sell?
Not on this same page.
Real estate, so I know that you make a dope ass sword, but I sell real estate. So when I do meet somebody, I'm trying to tell them about my real
So
estate.
they privately hold that other interest.
Because it's
So
not,
that's not what I'm marketing.
because I'm trying to sell what I'm trying to sell. And this is the thing that I always kind of battle with. It's like,
That's so fair.
it was easier for people to want to share things when they were young because they weren't selling anything. You were
Now
just
everybody's selling
doing
something.
what you do. But when you get into the adult world, everybody's selling something that they're doing. So what is the chances of them wanting to mention you when they're too busy trying to sell what they're trying to sell?
That's fact. I think it gets down to that motherfucker, what they're trying to sell actually costs money.
Mm.
And what we're trying to sell is
Just
free.
attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you could it doesn't cost money to listen to our shit. It costs money to go buy blueberries.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it should be easy to spread the word on something that's free.
You would think.
But then it costs money to get people to listen to something for free.
Yeah.
Attention is valuable, right?
It's very
Why do you
valuable.
think that all these companies spend hundreds of millions of dollars every year just for attention? But then they're aware that if I strategically do market this other thing and I know how to get a piece of that, then that's also wise as well. But you who does real estate, you're not getting a piece of the dividends on my album. So why would you, right?
Why
What's
would
in it for you? And that's what I think the thing is. We're dealing with
What?
insecurity and greed.
What's in it, bro?
If I'm insecure, I'm not going to show something else that makes me not seem like my best self. Like there's something that I could be doing better.
Yeah.
And then you have greed where no, I'm going to gatekeep and I'm going to keep everything for myself because I'm what matters in my story.
So let me ask a question, and this is a little bit more directed at Moss.
Okay.
Do you feel the people, because Moss did that, Moss is giving out a piece of his fucking
Yeah.
album, and more than a piece, he's giving out
His
the
album.
dividends of his album for the people who bought in, right?
Yes.
Would you say that the people who bought into your album spread the word on your album? Those people specifically.
That's a
Like,
good
did you see
question.
them stand out in trying to get more attention on your shit than people if not? Because at that same point, if they didn't, is it even worth trying to give up those dividends on your album? That's the other side that you might want to think about. Because it's like, you know what I'm saying?
I would say the people that there's a few people that always do it
Regardless, exactly.
regardless.
Regardless.
But the people that actually paid into it, I can't say that I saw.
Because you would think that they're a little bit
More
extra. They
incentivized.
that was the whole point.
They
That
see
was
the,
the whole
that was
point.
the
they
whole
see
point.
the investment. Yeah.
Is you want to see your investment, and if I spread the word,
I'll get
I'll
more
get a
than them.
bigger invest. I get a bigger chunk of
Just
that investment.
logic.
So you would think that they would fucking spread the word more.
Yeah.
But
But then you
Okay.
gotta understand dividends and all of that stuff. And a lot of times when you have people who come to support you, and then you say, "Oh, here's this thing to support me," and it could be something in it for you. They don't even hear there's something in it for me. They just hear, "Oh, here's an opportunity to support." So then they go and they give you their money, and they think,
And
"Oh,
that's
oh,
it.
man,
that's it.
I did my part. I'm done. I gave some money." So then it's
I guess that's true. But
so
it's
they
kinda,
don't really see the logic of.
But you get what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to not see the logic.
Yeah.
Like you're spelling it out to them. Fucking
would
give me
think.
your money, and I will hopefully be able to double, triple, whatever the amount
Whatever
of money
money
you
you
just gave
gave.
me. Spread
we
the
get
word.
enough people-
If we get a million streams on this shit,
then you are
you're gonna touch a little bit more than that $30 you just
that
gave me.
$30 get turned into $300. I mean, but that would be the idea behind it.
I get that's but that's what I'm. So I was wondering
Yes.
if you saw specifically any of those people that were like balling out, like
And I didn't see anybody that was
more than just the people who are usually
and that
balling
way,
out.
usually the usuals, and that was pretty much it. The people who paid into it, I didn't see them going extra, being
See,
like.
that's kind of
But
interesting.
It
but
is
they
interesting.
could have been in their private time and maybe not socially, and because I'm
Right.
not with
Just
them
with their
privately,
friends or whatever.
you know, maybe. But I didn't see it as much, and I would say more like that album as opposed to this album. The numbers did go up.
Totally.
I
Yeah,
got
that's
more
true.
listens on this album than I got on any of the previous albums.
So then maybe.
So maybe, but I didn't get a chance to do the dividend program for this one. So
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. It's a
So if
Yeah.
common sense isn't common, and we can agree on that, do
Very
you,
much so.
as the visionary and the artist, have to create the culture for them to basically go out in the world and do what you're wanting? Like, if you want it to yield the result that you want, do you have to be the person basically vision forecasting that out and saying, hey, like, I don't know, it almost sounds stupid. It's like you have to be like talking to a kid. Hey, you invested in this. Keep in mind, the more listens that you get, the more money you get. So we want to share.
I
You
think
know,
you're 100%
like,
right.
how do you do that while also not being, whatever the word is, like patronizing,
I think you got to look at the news. Like I gotta watch. Like we have to watch the news more to learn how to do that better because the news does a great job of patronizing you without you knowing that you're being patronized.
but they've got money behind it.
That's the only
And it's always there.
I know, but
It's
got
always
back to
there.
that same
It's
thing
not
that you
like-
just said though. It's like any advertising, any getting word of mouth, or just any big company. It's all the money behind it that's making it happen. It's the machine behind it that's making
Yeah.
it happen.
Right.
And if you don't have that, it's hard to even do that.
It's
next
hard to
step.
get the
It's hard to
attention.
get the attention. It's hard to
Yeah.
be in people's faces in that same degree.
Yeah, because you could do something that could, because we're still emotional creatures at the end of the day. So you could do something to strike a chord in somebody that touches them, but the chances of them being able to see it is so small because it's like you said, my attention span is so short. I'm flooded. I done watched 100 videos in the past 30 seconds. So nothing really got a chance to really strike my chord.
Totally.
Like one thing I did is I did like a TikTok ad, and then they show you the watch time, the average watch time. The average watch time on my video was 2 seconds.
Holy
You're
shit.
fucking kidding me.
And it's like you don't even see the good part of the video.
Hey, it's my.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Fucked.
the average watch time out of the 4,000 people that saw it was 2 seconds.
Keep
That's
in mind that when
ridiculous,
you're
bro.
averaging that out, it's probably realistically, depending on what your budget and how many people viewed it is, probably realistically more like 10 to 15 seconds.
No, it's
Because
saying it's like it's
No,
Well,
but the people, it pops up on their phone
Mm.
and they go like this right away.
Yeah.
That still counts as a view. They viewed it.
Yes.
So that
Yeah.
0.2 second is going to be calculated into the average of
as
viewing the
much
2
as the
seconds.
person who watched the whole video.
So it's not saying that that's great,
That's why
but
it's an average.
keeping that in mind.
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what
no,
I'm
but
saying?
it's still an average.
It's-
But then
that's-
it just gets into.
So what do you got to do? You have to have your cock in a sock and say, "Oh," and they're like, "What is he going to do?"
No, you have to spend
What's the
whatever
gimmick?
amount of money that he spends. He has to be like 10 times that amount of money, and hope that then you reach instead of the
Instead of
4,000,
4,000,
that
you
you're
get 4
reaching
million.
400,000 or 4
400,000.
million, whatever it is. So then, even if the average is still 2 seconds, you're still reaching. Say it is the 400 that you're 200,000 of them are watching the whole thing, and the
Exactly.
other 200,000 are skipping in less than a second to average it out at 2 seconds. That's the only way. So you
That's the
still
only
need all
way.
that fucking money behind that machine.
And that's why the machine defeats us, is because of that.
Yeah.
Because it's not that they can create content that's better. It's just that
Resource.
It's resource. It's that.
Yeah.
It's money behind the machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a weird thing because then we've talked about how do you combat that with the limited resources that we have,
Mm-hmm.
and it's almost like in this day and age and culture, it is gimmick, and that's not authentic. I don't think to any of us is to say, like do some weird fucking
it's
shit,
like you
know.
said, you're cock out wearing a sock, like
Type shit.
Well, I like here's another example on way lower level, and I thought this shit was so fucking whack when I saw it. I'm watching, and because I follow so much artist type of stuff online because I'm fascinated with it, and it was like this TikToker did his music video, and he spent his $700 marketing budget that he had on a 300 feet of rope. And the video of him singing his song is like the rope's attached to a car and the rope's attached to his ankle and the car starts driving off. And it's like, because of the tension that's created by the fact of you wanting to see what's going to happen to the rope and to the person, they're bought in. And I'm like,
Yep.
okay, conceptually makes sense, but
Mhm.
forgive me for my choice of words. That's fucking gay. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that even a good idea? I don't know. Technically it worked, right? So from the outside looking in, yes, it was a good idea, but I don't think there's any substance or real creativity there. And it's like, that's not where I'm going to
Yeah, but they're
compromise on
not trying to
something like
push a
that.
motive. That's the thing. Like
it's
that has nothing to do. Like the video then he's not trying to translate that into. He's just trying to monetize that one video,
yeah.
right? When we're
Well, what
trying
he's saying
to
is-
translate something into then. We're an artist. Come watch the rest of the shit.
Well, it's
Come
come listen to the rest of the
shit.
song.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Where in that it's like all those people on TikTok and on any video like that, they're just the person who watches the whole thing, and if they get enough people to watch the whole thing, not even the whole thing, if they get enough people to just watch it, they're making money off of that.
Yes.
We're not just trying to make money off of the one
It's-
30-second clip.
Well, it's like
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
when
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
well,
totally.
it was like when Young Thug wore a dress. It was like
When? Still don't
I'm kinda stupid. But like when he had a dress on his album Jeffrey, it was like you were like everybody was appalled and it got everybody's
It
attention.
totally did,
It
though.
And it was on everything. And now I have to go listen to his album because why does he have a dress on?
That's what happened to me. I remember it vividly. I was like, what the fuck? And then the way he slid on it after made you question it even more. You're like, well, who are you? Like
And
this is
that's-
interesting.
That's what I think you were trying to say with the rope thing. It's like, do you do something that can be considered compromising for the sake of attention?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, well, then how do you do something that aligns with you, but that can still capture attention?
Yeah.
See, but that's still my point, though, is it can't be an unrelated TikTok video. See, that's
true.
has to be.
100%.
That's what I'm saying. Like that is an album cover. Like, so it's people are looking at the album cover
Yeah.
and it's ridiculous. They're like, we need to listen to the album.
Yes.
You make
Yeah.
an unrelated fucking video on TikTok, and it's just an unrelated video on fucking TikTok that has nothing to do with you being an artist, and people
Yeah.
aren't then thinking, let me get to know the artist.
And maybe everybody
Totally.
watches
You know?
that video and they never check out your music. Never knew that you did.
That's my point. Is that because they just think you're a TikTok page that's putting random bullshit up on their TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then success is subjective too, right? Like nowadays, it's like some people would rather have the attention centralized onto TikTok, where it's like, yeah, it would be cool to have a couple 100,000 TikTok followers, but I don't give a shit if it doesn't mean people are gonna go fucking
That's
listen
my
to on
point.
the
I mean, it got
Spotify
back to
page.
the same shit on your shit.
'Cause
when
I'm not
you
a
had your
TikToker.
Instagram shit. Exactly. It was like
Yeah.
people when you had your 20,000, like, and you still have thousands of people on Instagram, but this doesn't
Yeah.
translate into the music part.
Listen,
Which
no.
that's the only if you had the 10,000 fucking listeners on every single track as
Yeah.
to every single
Bro.
Instagram follower you have,
100%.
that'd be money.
Yes.
But it's not because it doesn't get translated
Because
that
they
way.
bought in for
Because
different
they bought
reasons
in for
at
other
different
reasons
times.
at
Yeah.
different times, but that has nothing to do with what you're trying to push
Right.
right now
Absolutely.
and what you've been trying to push. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying?
Well, it goes back to having the machine in it too, because then you could do the thing. Like, then you have to do is like we said, volume. Because I like that song. I ain't never been the same.
Oh yeah, Tommy
yes.
Richmond. Yeah.
I like. First off, I never heard of that dude, but I
Me
go
neither,
on
that was
TikTok
the first
and
shit.
it was like every other video that I flipped to, it
Sounds.
was either him in the studio with a bunch of people or other people dancing to his song, to the point then they made it a sound, then people were using that
Yep.
sound, and then you would just hear that, and then next thing you
But
know it's on
it's revolving
Instagram,
around the
and the next
music.
thing you know it's on a
Yes.
commercial, and then it's on the radio. Like,
Yeah.
it went from we're just on TikTok and you're just not gonna miss us, you're just gonna see us no matter what, and then that goes into the psyche of, well, if you listen to something enough times, you'll find something that you like about it, or you'll see something that you like. So you hear the song over and over and over to the point where it's embedded in your head.
It's stuck in your head.
It's stuck in your head.
Yeah.
And now he's on commercials.
Yeah.
And now, you know, his song was at the top of the charts for a little bit. Well, like,
Well, then it's funny because he blew up in the start of fashion. Then he did his first live show, and everyone was like, "What the fuck?" He's good nuts. Huge, like one of those, let's just say T-Mobile or whoever was throwing this in, Spotify.
Yeah.
He did his first live thing, and that went viral.
really?
Him not being able to hit the notes went viral. Yeah.
It's a song.
Probably not. And then again, just like most people probably are focused on those platforms. Just like, okay, I need to publicity because guess what? Now that song should do more numbers. Say like, oh, that's what he sounds like. People listen to the song. So it works, but it's like that's just not me. I don't know what my version of those things are because I'm not a gimmicky individual.
Yeah.
And people probably don't even know because I'm not looking at it like that. They got a marketing team. They're not even like, this is my idea. They're just willing to do whatever they got to do. Yeah. And I'm like, y'all can take the elevator. I'm just gonna climb the ladder though, because that's more true to what I know.
Well, the thing that I have noticed is like the people that do take the stairs or the ladder, instead of being able to take the elevator as fast as you go up is as fast as you can go down.
Huge point. Absolutely.
But when you take the stairs and if you're able to make it to the top of the stairs, it takes so much longer to go down the stairs than it did if you just took the elevator.
That's such a good point.
And that's why you'll see people who can still perform their songs till this day, even though they were like an old artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how many, and the majority of people that you would call like not one hit wonders, but the equivalent of one album wonders, one season wonders. Yeah. What did they do? They shot up and then they disappeared, right?
I mean,
Where's Lil Skies? Where's all these people that were like, when we were, 18, 19, prime of like the rap type of shit coming
Right.
out, they were at their peak out of nowhere.
Yes,
And now
out of
I don't know
nowhere.
where you are. I never heard
and
nothing.
maybe you still got your little core base, but you're not as popping as you were.
So was it worth it?
Then that would be the
Well,
question.
like I said, it depends on the person. Some
It does
people-
depend on the person.
Because at the end of the day, he's still a fucking millionaire. So to him,
Maybe.
yeah,
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, you got
Think about the way that these people
Yeah,
spend
Yeah,
money.
I'm saying he has potential to still be a millionaire. Where it's like, for some people that's enough. He probably was able to buy his motherfucking house. got
Lil
himself a
Pump's
house.
another example.
Yeah, but he's see my point though. Guy's
He's
a
probably
fucking
still a millionaire.
He's for sure still a millionaire.
Oh,
So it comes
100%.
down to what you're in it for, and if you're just in it for the money, if you're trying, like we were saying, it comes down to what you want to do with your sword.
Yeah.
Like if you want to fucking play with it all day, or if you no Diddy,
But
But if you're trying to play with your sword all day and just for yourself,
you could be okay.
then
with
you
that.
could be okay with that.
Mhm.
But some people, they're like, it just depends. It just depends. Everyone's gonna be a little bit different on it.
I think so.
Yeah, no, I agree. But the cool thing about like us is like while we're all drastically different, I feel like we're aligned.
God
God
bless.
bless you. We're aligned on a lot of these things, right?
Mm.
Like for example, like I don't know if we would gravitate as much to Moss if Moss was like a clout chaser and willing to do whatever the fuck for it.
Yeah.
But no, so we fuck with Moss because he's a dope person. He sees things.
You steal that ass for cash.
He said you tell that ass.
No, I wouldn't, brother.
I beg to differ.
Oh shit.
There is nothing in me that says that I would with the fingers crossed. Like now would never.
Never, not never. But yeah, man, I think yeah, I mean, you're right. That's, I think that gets back to the same point. It's like, yeah, we're all like different artists, but we're all that somewhat like conscious, somewhat like there's more to our music.
Okay, so that's a question though. Like, I'm curious what your opinion on that. So out of all these people that are all so different and blah 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 blah, how do we all kind of stay in the same? I would say, like we were talking about a Venn diagram earlier, right? Like, how do we all stay on the one side of the Venn diagram where we have more things together than not? How did that happen? Is that a God thing? Is that like, how did we? I don't know. It's interesting. Like even thinking about the way that we met. For those people who don't know, we were me and Ian were trying to get into doing shows, and so I went on these like indie sites to find free shows that we could perform at. And this dude was from out of town, somewhere in the boonies, and he had this cafe show, and I was like, let's do it. And the first person we meet is Moss outside on the trash can, and for whatever reason, instead of me and Ian walking in, we just gravitated to this stranger. Okay, that's
and that's automatically
That's a
two
connection.
stoners
Fair.
see another stoner by the trash can.
We're like,
smoking.
must be
I
cool.
wonder where I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I guess I'll go
I,
gravitate over
the
here.
show hasn't started yet. I think I'm gonna go smoke with Big Homie.
Are you smoking about?
like that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that.
that's literally how it happened too.
Exactly, but that's already like there was already common ground
From the
Right?
very beginning.
A, the trash can, we're all trash. And B, it was smoking some shit, and that's what we were looking at. So it's because we sparked up right then and there too. So it's like there from the moment we knew that there was like common ground. You know what I'm saying? Like I looked at my skin, he looked at his skin. It's like we're brothers.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
Maybe it's inner
Right. We
We
definitely
definitely are not too far apart from each
we're meant to be hanging out.
other. 100%.
It's been a long time since Moss lived in the desert, okay?
Right?
Oh my god,
No,
that's funny
that's-
shit.
And I think too, what made it dope is that after, like, we could have connected there, right? Weed has always been a great connector for people.
Yeah.
But to then go and perform, and then see what your songs were like, and then see my song, I could have went up there and started, playing one of those things where it's like the harmonica and
Yes, bro.
and been totally weird. But your music, and then I heard my music, and there was something about your music where I was like, that shit is dope. And so there was something that was there beyond just the weed or us.
100%. I think there's only most of the people that were performing there were dog shit. But then B, it's like when you hear somebody else spitting dope shit who's undiscovered, who's just not where you know they should be, which is all of the
like
above
we're
of
here.
us.
We're all here.
We're all here, and we
And
should
this
be at
is
a way better spot than this. And we all got the music to be in a better spot than this, but we're not.
Yeah.
And we're surrounded by people, which is typically the common LA people who fucking do music but are shit. Like I said, it's like you wanna, and you're trying to build. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to build something. It's like, okay, then you're gonna find like those people stand out to you extra.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
And it could have
beyond
been
common
beneath them.
grounds.
Because I don't know if I told you guys, but like it was very extremely ironic. But there was somebody that I knew who went to the same high school as me, who lived in LA, who was at that show.
What?
And yes, and she
Who
was
performed or who was watching?
She didn't perform though.
Same thing with us. There was a kid who fucking also went to AG to record. Remember the Spanish singer? He was performing that night. Andre. Remember that guy?
He didn't show up though, right?
He didn't show. He was on
You're
the fucking
right.
ballot on the show
On the
list.
show list.
And we're like, this is that guy who also records.
You're
at AG,
right.
but it was beneath him. So he was like,
Well,
and he's not
questionable.
even good. But to him,
Yeah,
it was
to him,
beneath
to him.
He didn't show up. He didn't perform. You knew somebody there. Showed
She
up,
was
didn't
there.
perform.
She could have performed, but I don't know the reasons why. So I'm not gonna act like I know the reasons why. But I know that if you're there, there's a mic there. You got your music. You could perform,
Right.
and you didn't. So maybe and a part
See,
of that.
I didn't know that part either. So
So then to see you guys and have the balls to be like, yeah, I'm going. Like
There's a split second. I remember we looked at each other. We're like, do we
are
want
we
to
really gonna?
we want to do this? And we're like, dude, like,
this is what I came here.
Yeah,
for.
we're already here.
Yeah.
Like what's there's 50 people
we
here.
drove out to Echo Park from Woodland Hills on a fucking weeknight.
Yes.
You know.
Let's let them hear our shit.
Yeah.
Whoever's here, they're gonna hear.
And look it. That's how.
And here we are.
So take a leap of faith. Nothing's beneath you.
There it is.
Put yourself out there.
There.
You might just
Except
meet
it's a
the
lady.
you might
A
just meet
lady
the
should
person you're
always be
missing.
beneath you.
What?
Oh shit.
Like
hold up.
underneath you.
I mean, he ain't never
Didn't know what's
done
going
that.
there.
I mean, he kept it 100% right there.
But-
that was bullseye. Okay, he didn't miss.
But that's it. I think if you have that willingness, if you have the willingness, if you have the heart, if you have the any of it, like I think there's, unless you're fucking Rick Ross and coming out the gate with hustling.
And I mean, obviously, he didn't come out the gate with hustling. I'm sure he
Released some shit beforehand. That was his
Worked his way
debut
and
single as a Def Jam sign.
But how do you get to that point where somebody even wants to sign you? How did they hear you? How did they?
I feel like it's totally different than it used to.
Because I think about us and I'm like, how hasn't somebody who's looking for talent come across us to say, damn, this is some talent. How could, like.
It's a great point. So I wonder, because you think about that, right? Okay, like 2006, social media and stuff wasn't there. Instagram wasn't out. Those things weren't out. You don't really have a true way to prove that you're bringing in revenue as a non-signed artist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, if you're to even be looked at by a label, you have to be doing a certain amount of listens per month, certain amount of likes per thing. All these metrics matter, but for them to want to do that, it's completely different. So how? Yeah.
How's your YouTube?
All of it. And
hey, I love that song. Let me know when you get this many hits. Though.
Literally,
I don't
bro.
even
That's
think
the type of
there's-
emails you get.
I don't think there's even such thing as a real A&R anymore.
No.
Like A&R used to go to
It's like an
fucking
AI
shows.
bot.
Yes.
They used to fucking go to like where we would perform at the
Yeah.
Whiskey and fucking
and be in the
Scope.
small spots.
and be in the small
trying to
spots, trying to
find
find some local talent
Totally.
who's got some shit. Because dude, I've gone, I don't know how many shows I've done. I don't know, 10 shows or whatever. But I'll have the people who are working there be like, dude, like you were fucking tight.
Everybody
But it
was
doesn't
there
matter.
seeing it.
Everyone was there, and like not the people that are watching, like the people who are working there are recognizing that because they know that like you're not like most of the people that are
You didn't
popping
sound
up
like
there
everybody else
because
was
everyone
here.
else is popping up there as pretty dog shit, like I was saying. But they fucking know, but it doesn't matter because they're not the A&R. They're not the person who has a connection.
Who are the
anywhere.
people that
But
shoot?
those people don't show up to those things anymore.
They're not coming to the AAA, quadruple A game to see if this picture is.
So
When they
is
should be.
there a love missing of that?
Hmm.
Maybe the thing changed. I mean, money obviously is the main
Yeah,
driving
that's-
factor, right?
that's what it
But
is.
even then,
There-
even
I mean,
in
how-
2006,
how do
right?
you even
You
go
want to
further
find
than
the person to make the money, but you also
Yes.
love the shit.
Yeah, but you
Well,
don't have to dig that far when there's
yeah.
someone on TikTok.
Okay,
who's
fair.
already
The
got it, and then you know
digging
you
became
can
a
just-
different sport.
You see
Right.
that they already got
Yeah,
attention.
they already have attention, and then you can make that attention even further, and
That's it.
because they're already making money, so
Yeah.
you know you're guaranteed to make money. There's no risk. It's
Yes.
no risk to
It's-
reward. It's
exactly.
all reward because you're finding someone who's already somewhat popping, and
Yeah.
you're just taking them to the next level.
Well,
Not even to the next level, but you're just
you guys are just
taking them.
partnering,
Yeah, you're just
basically.
partnering and just.
Or you guys are pimping them. It's one of the two. I mean, so either you're
Right.
partnering.
It's
or
pretty
you
much
get
the
right.
same
It's-
shit
yeah.
in that world. In
Yeah,
that
no,
world right
totally.
now, it's
Yeah.
the same shit.
But then I like also too though sometimes like I'll come across like these like small like labels and then I'll just skim through their roster.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, damn, who are like I don't know any of these people. And I didn't see you on Instagram. And I didn't see you on TikTok. And I haven't seen you on YouTube or Twitch or any of the other social medias. How did you
Get there.
get a job
Get a position.
with this label to say, hey, we're backing this person?
Mhm. I think that's fair.
How
But
does
that
that-
also being said, what does them backing that person mean? Like, just because they're on that website. We could build a website and put all three of us on. We already do.
Yeah.
We already have that website.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it does, like, if they're not, because they're probably not paying for studio time for that person. They're not paying for videos for that person. They're not paying for photo shoots for that person.
I think it depends on the type of label, but
I mean,
usually you're going to be offered something.
Some sort of
In advance
It
of some
depends on-
kind.
it
It's like it might be on a minimum, like, hey, Ian, I'm going to sign you for a $5,000 advance, but everything that it costs you to do your album, it's going to come out of that $5,000.
Yeah.
And then I'm still going to take 70% of the album because I advanced you the money to do it.
See, but I don't see how that label even has the money to do that.
Because it's called business. You can get a business loan and all type of other stuff, and maybe you can show.
You can also write it off as fucking debt
lines
or
of-
whatever
I
off
mean,
your
right,
off your
like-
expenses. Like
or
there's
maybe somebody who just got, like, think of TDE. TDE was not a huge label. It was just a dude who had some paper, who saw some talent. And
But that's my
invested
point.
in it.
That's my point.
And look at what it turned into.
But the
Somebody's
majority of
gotta
them
have
don't
the
turn
fun.
into shit.
But you
No,
gotta
That's kind
have
of my
fun.
point.
totally right. I agree with you on that.
You gotta have fun.
You gotta have funds, and then like I said, it's like I still don't see like most of those people that you're seeing on any of those websites. I've looked at them too. Or
They
any,
probably go
none-
and perform and do little small shows here and there. There's
Yeah.
always little tours that are going
Even
on.
those indie
Like-
labels get the unheard artists on those festival rosters are the
That's what I'm
bottom
saying.
lines
At the shows and
because they
festivals
know
and-
one person. It's like you're
I
almost
would be
one
cool with
person
that.
away.
fuck yeah, bro.
I would be totally cool being the unknown dude on this label who just makes sure that I can just go on these festival tours.
Yeah, but the only
And
thing
that's
missing
what
is
I
you
do.
don't know that one guy, and that's why you will
And how do you
compromise
get
something
to-
to sign with the label because they know the one guy. You know the one guy at the festival station. You know the one guy who works at Spotify who's going to put you
Yes.
on that playlist.
Ex-
What are you willing to sacrifice for it? Because without it, it's like leverage. That's really all it is. If
Yeah.
they have leverage, you have to be willing to go to bat in that game and figure it out what you have to let go.
that's
Or you
what-
don't. Or you don't. You say you're going to play the long and independent
Yeah,
game, which
just
is
play the
closer to
long.
what was true for all of us.
And if because it's a big if it works, you can have a long career. If it doesn't work, then you go, well, I mean, I had a great life of doing the thing that I love to do, even
On my
though
terms.
I'm broke.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think that you have to be willing to
Yeah.
accept that, though. And I told you earlier, I was like, I've come to the acceptance of that. I'd rather.
Do you know who Fireboy MDL is?
No,
Oh yeah, he hot. No, I'm just kidding.
Asaki.
No, I feel like I've heard that name. I think he's an African
Lucky.
artist.
Lucky. I feel like I'm
Lucky who?
Key Glock. His name is Lucky.
We know Key Glock. Yeah, Key Glock's
big.
very big.
Draco the Ruler.
Yeah,
Babyface Ring.
yeah.
yeah.
All these people that I just named are all on the same record label.
What is it, Sony?
What is this? Olamide.
It's a subsidiary
Yeah,
company.
they probably have a imprint deal.
Yeah, it
with
is.
something.
Totally is.
Yeah, because those are all like actual big
Yeah.
rappers. I
Well,
don't listen
the
to
couple
any of
last
their
ones
rap,
that you named.
but
at
yeah,
least.
the
310 Baby. Rich Brian. D Smoke.
I know Rich
D
Brian.
Smoke.
not
Oh
D
yeah,
Smoke.
D Smoke is the
He's
guy
on
from
he was
the
on that
show.
He's on the show.
Yeah, he's what's his name's brother.
Y'all Talk.
Cousin, isn't he a cousin of
brother.
not Kendrick, right?
Quinn
No,
NMF. These guys are all on the
J-Rock,
same
not
label,
J-Rock,
bruh.
I think you might be right.
it's
I
one
think
of
it is
it's one of
J-Rock.
the TDE people. D Smoke is his brother.
Yeah. Well, Sir is his brother.
Sir,
Sir,
who it is.
that's who he looks just like.
Yeah,
No
they
kidding.
look like twins.
No
Yeah.
kidding. D Smoke's cool. I like it.
They're all part of Empire.
Empire. Yep. So
So
Empire.
I just named a bunch of names that we probably never even heard of who are on Empire. And I named a bunch of names that you do know. And they're all on the same record label.
Yeah, but that's not a small record.
No, so think about that. If you type in Empire's subsidiaries,
Empire
Em-
was not always a big record label.
No, it was not always.
It grew
It
into
was not.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
but
Because they got an imprint deal.
Why
they
do you think-
signed it
why do you
onto a
think-
bigger something?
Somebody has some paper to
for
get
sure.
it started.
For
and-
sure.
you have
For
paper
sure.
or you have a visionary, and they kind of had both. And what's his name? He got canceled. I forget his fucking name. Bald dude. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know you're
He had like the gray facial hair, bald head.
Yeah, like,
no,
I
who
think
the
he
fuck
might
you
be
talking
like
about?
Armenian.
He got taken. No, he's black. He
Ooh.
got taken to somewhere else. They kicked him off of Empire.
Well, okay. I know that.
Former
like,
head
the
of Empire.
dude, he's like a bald
I'll tell you right now.
dude. But like, it just goes to show that like Empire was.
Oh,
not a
see, you were
huge-
talking about a Persian guy. That's
Yeah,
a different guy.
yeah.
I'm not thinking of that guy.
But it was like it wasn't a huge record label, right? So when I see these small up and coming record labels, it's like all it takes is like one artist to kind of really hit,
For sure.
to turn that record label into an empire or
Beyonce.
or
Beyonce.
Cash Money or
Beyonce.
So then, okay, how can we leverage our talent with somebody who has some paper to make that investment? Just like me getting people to want to pay for the album to get incentives. How do we come to somebody who has some paper and say, listen, like the same way you invest in the stock
exactly
market,
what you're saying.
you can invest in us and you make your money on the back end. And what
Take all the money for a good
and what
period.
you
I don't
do,
give a fuck.
what you do is you give us the leeway and the funds that we need to put ourselves in front of people to say, okay, we believe that we got the talent. Everybody that we've ever come across has said that we have the talent. Now, maybe they could be lying, maybe they're not. But if we'll never know unless we give people an opportunity. And the only way you can give people opportunity is, like we've discussed, is with funds. Who can we go to? Well, we can say, we have a business proposition for you. How do we
That's a really good question.
make this happen? And you got the talent right here. And then if it starts working out, well, we could bring you other artists.
I mean, you develop that skill or you find someone who has that skill set. So, for example, like if there's a middleman between us and that, it's a manager, right? And the manager's going to go to bat for you. Or you sign the PR agent and you give them a cut of your stuff.
Yeah.
But those type of people, it's either here. I mean, I know a number of them, but I haven't pitched myself. But for example, like I won't even say the artist. Like I know famous artist managers who they know me, but they don't really give a fuck about my shit yet. They kind of fuck with me, but they don't really fuck with my shit.
Because it's the numbers game?
I don't know.
Oh.
I wonder that same question. But when this next thing comes out, I'm gonna press that button again.
Yeah.
And say and repitch I pitched myself to one of them, and then he was like, because he basically told me, send me what you got. I'm interested, and then he never said nothing. But we're still cordial. We go back and forth on Instagram and shit.
Okay.
But it's not about that.
Yeah, he didn't.
But they gotta have a reason, right? Like if you don't build the intrigue, which is either based off of the money you're gonna bring or the fact that you're just that 1 in a million dope ass fucking dude that they're like, yep, right resources around that guy, he's gonna go.
Yeah, because you already seem like you got it. But how do you? So we have to I don't know. You gotta be able to get the attention of people in this time frame for people to see you as money, because attention is money. It's funny, we're a very feminized society, and people probably wouldn't like to hear that, but we are very feminized, meaning like in a woman's world, like her attention is equated to value.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And that is the kind of world we're in right now, where it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman, the amount of attention that you can get is your value.
Absolutely agree.
So how do
Yeah, but I'm still looking for that down bitch who's just gonna ride or die for me, whether I'm poor or not. Which is the same thing, kind of to that.
I almost think they went extinct to some point. And that's himself, right?
Who gonna go? I see that talent, and we can take this to them. I believe in that.
So, I mean, like, I don't really like Monster. I like chick like that. Like your chick, like your chick is a ride or die for you, bro. Like your chick was helping you fund your shit for your event. That's a down. That's
rare as fuck. I feel like
that's rare, but I mean, you're not just that bottom, so that's a little different.
That's not always enough to do. I mean, maybe that's enough to say I'm down for you. That's not to say I'm going to be emotionally invested, financially invested in your dreams.
No,
I believe in you. You're right. Like that's hard.
It is very rare. It is very, very rare.
It's probably because, like you talked about, another thing we want to share with personal shit, but based on her values and the way she was brought up, is much different than how most chicks nowadays who are from the 18 to 25, 30 range have been brought up based on the type of Asian world they're in. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
because they're told where their value comes from. What are they doing to get that value? I mean, we can see it. I don't have to say it. Yeah. So now as a man, I feel like value is different for them. Now, if value used to be one, of course, financially, no one's going to disagree that a man should be the provider. 100% agree in that traditional role. But other value would come from how can I stimulate you mentally and emotionally and like help you see the world differently. That's part of my job. They don't give a fuck about that anymore.
Yeah.
The mentality is I see the world, I know the role that I have to play as a woman. I know what a man's supposed to do me, and I'm gonna get my bag, stay secure. But if you take care, pay for stuff, then you'll have my attention because that's what's valued enough for me to give you my attention because my attention is valuable. The only thing that I find to value is monetary status.
Yeah.
Which is really fucking sad to be honest.
Well, I mean, it's
If we go 20-hour date, and you still, but you know,
yeah. Well, I think that because sometimes as dudes we kind of see things as night and day, and we forget the part too. Yeah, like gray areas that like subsequently they are subtly in competition with other women, and so like they have like if I go on a $20 date and I go and get with my friend and we have girls' night and she's telling me she went on a $200 date and I went on this $20 date. Like my friend went on a $200 date is not going to be asking me, well, what was his values and
right.
Man, he is.
Like, yeah,
saying Taco Bell is different than
there it is.
right there.
Right there, and it says it all right there. So then it's like, well, now I have to do that because if I'm going to go and be around my friends, I have to at least be in the ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to be the most.
Yeah.
But I gotta at least be in the, and so now it doesn't now you as a guide or someone of having some sort of utility besides a pocketbook is not really necessary. And I mean, part of the liberation of women is that as well. It's like, well, what else do I need you for besides a pocketbook?
How does that even change?
That,
If that's what the norm is, which I think it's very clear that it
yeah,
is.
that's the, and
Where
so
how does that shift occur?
how do we translate that even also because if like art imitates life and life imitates art. So if this is the times that we're in, right, when it comes to like social dynamics, then that means it's the same should be true for like business, economics, and artistry.
Right.
So if that is the case where monetarily that's all that really matters, because what else do I need you for? How does that translate into music, and how do we play with that?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. I don't know. I really don't.
Because if I like socially, I can think about it. Socially, the only thing that would really make a change or a difference when it comes to that is one thing that you that you can't change is attraction. That's one thing that we can't change about ourselves is what it is that we're attracted to. We can tell ourselves what we want to do, what we like to do, but what we're attracted to doing, there's nothing we could do about that. So when it comes to like dealing socially, like with a woman, sure, I can only be looked at as like just a pocketbook to her. She doesn't really care or need me for anything else. But what she can't help is what I've crafted in myself that she's attracted to.
But maybe she doesn't even know what that is.
She
like,
doesn't know.
Like
what
she
that
knows
is.
that that's a thing, but she doesn't see importance in it.
She doesn't know what it is.
Because that doesn't outweigh the fact that if you can't provide it, wouldn't fucking matter. She's not like your mystique and your intrigue and your confidence is all sexy or whatever. That's not enough probably to keep her around, no?
It's not enough, but it's like if I've never had pizza and then I see somebody trying the pizza and they're loving pizza, but I've never had pizza, I can be like, I don't really want to try pizza. And then another day comes around, I see somebody having pizza, and then I'm like, I never had pizza. I'm not interested in pizza. And then that third day comes around, and people are enjoying pizza, and a part of me goes, you know what? Fuck it, I'll give the pizza a try. Oh my God. This pizza is actually real. How come I never had pizza? I love pizza. That's how attraction works.
I don't disagree. But, I mean, socially at least, nowadays a woman would rather sit behind a screen and get her shit than come out and actually, because there's an element of truth that's there's an element of truth that's exposed in real life, right?
Yeah.
The same way we were talking earlier about like when you can dictate or want to control what the perception of you is, that's what you're able to do online.
Yes.
Once you come out into the real world, either you're not interested, or there's also the fear of he's going to see me for something beyond what I want to be seen as. Like I don't have the what's it called, like facade in front of me. I don't have a wall in front of me that's going to weed out the things that are not supposed to come across. The filter. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Because in real life, if you're
Yeah,
if you're a real dude, like you're gonna see beyond the facade, whatever front that someone could put on in real life.
Yeah.
And if you're smart enough, you'll know how to break it down.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they want to be breaking down. I don't think a lot of people want to have their perspective or their world shaken up and changed.
I can.
Because that's the state of delusion that you've created in your own world, which you can understand why.
Yeah.
I have to create my own world of delusion, at least in my terms of self-belief.
Yeah.
Based on what the world tells me is different from my state of inner world, you know. But I don't know, dude. I think that that's a huge, like, topic, though, in general, is, like, there's a disconnect from men and women. Because I love the idea of having female friends. I love having feminine energy around. But everything is just so hypersexualized and so focused on money where it's like, there's almost just not room for, like, this realness to function somewhere in this area.
Well, yes, but there is a no. And the no is the people that are trying the pizza. But how do you get those people to try the pizza? Well, you gotta find at least, you know, one or two people who try the pizza and that show that they like the pizza.
What do you mean, though? Like, hey, here's my focus groups of people who said the pizza was good, by the way.
Nah. You don't do it that way.
Let me mark it. You know,
It's
testimonials.
That's what it is. It's a testimonial.
But that's what I'm saying.
But it's nonverbal. And here's what I'll say. Here's how. See, this is why I know how to do it socially. I gotta figure out the other way.
So maybe we can get there.
Socially, yeah, maybe at me telling you, you can break it down and we can bring it the other way. This is how I say socially. Like with my girl. If we go out somewhere together, people see me with her.
Mm-hmm.
So it says that somebody wants me. Now they look at her and then they judge her. Well, you know, is she a 3? Is she an 8? Is she, you know? And then other people can see that. And so then we'll go places and do things. And in the midst of me being around this girl, it validates to other women that, well, there's pizza there. And maybe they don't want to try the pizza. But then I could come back and show up with another girl at that same place.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, what the hell? Like, he's here with a different girl that's with him, and I seen him with another girl, and this girl could be whatever they judge her as.
Sure.
You know, usually if she's around me, she's not going to not be pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So then what ends up
Usually, he says.
One slips in there every
what
now and
ends up
then.
happening is
She had a damn good personality, though.
But usually what'll happen is then after that, well, now the girl who saw me with the first girl and the second girl, who was, let's just say she was the bartender.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now that girl goes to the bathroom and there's small talk amongst them. Well, let me get your Instagram. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there's social proof that other girls are trying the pizza. So even though they probably looked at me and was like, I don't want to try that. The fact that there's other girls that are showing that they're
piques your
trying.
curiosity.
Yeah, I think the easiest way to just nail that, and I've been told this, is literally just fucking wear a wedding ring.
Some people do.
It means that you're financially stable.
Uh-huh.
A girl wants you.
Yeah.
Boom. You don't want a girl to look at you, you go to Vegas without a wedding ring on. You want a girl to look at you, you wear that wedding ring when you're in Vegas, and all the bitches will want you.
That's so true.
It's just how it works.
It's how it works.
It is how it
You
works.
kind of nailed it on the head.
Yeah.
Because I know that's how
yeah.
it's not a ring, but it's like I'm with
It
the
is,
girl.
but the
Same
girl
as
is
the
the ring.
girl is the
Yeah.
ring.
The girl is the ring.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then you order everything, you pay for everything, and then it's like, oh.
Exactly.
So how do we translate that part into music? How do we like, I guess rappers do it with a necklace, but like,
Yeah, I mean it's kind of that. It's, you have trophies, right? The woman's the
Yeah.
trophy in that sense. It's like,
Yeah.
and they see you with your accolades. They see you that you're, you know.
Yeah.
So it's,
Proof of concept.
yeah, proof of concept. The proof is in the pudding type shit.
Yeah.
Exactly. But
So-
yeah,
so do we?
how
so,
do you translate?
But yeah,
that?
that's the question.
like do you like boost your numbers type of thing. But how can you boost your numbers, but then you don't got that many likes on Instagram, or you don't got that
Totally.
many views
You
on your
boost all
music?
those numbers.
Pay for it all. It's all fucking
a
fake.
marketing
Yeah, but it's
play.
kind of, it's not that expensive to fucking fake that shit, but it's just lame as fuck to fake.
It is
That's
because,
the-
because it doesn't change shit for you. It's to
The only
me
thing
that
is the
increases the
lameness.
imposter syndrome, bro.
Yeah, for real.
That's the only thing.
Because
is
now
the
I look good,
lameness.
but I feel even worse.
Bruh.
Because
I know that I
5,000
paid for
that
it.
5,000 views, that's pretty nice. I paid for 5,000. There's 5,143.
You know that 143. That's all me though.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. But the 23 likes that you got on that 5,000 are all real, and you weren't gonna get those 23 likes without that 5,000. And those people actually are the people that listen to the whole shit and that actually fuck with it. So at least you got 23 new people
Yes.
out of that shit.
Yes.
Okay, so here's another question, and I don't mean to
Showing
change.
up
I
with
don't mean
the
to change
trophy.
the topic, but what we've talked about before is like nowadays the way that people are interested into buying into an artist is when you see more of their real life, right? So if we're creating a facade that's saying success, accolades, all these things, and that's not true,
I'm super successful, by the way.
Goddamn right.
how do you then show them who you are behind the scenes? You wouldn't.
Porn. Make it laugh.
Ian, this is a worst case scenario, and I would not do it.
Wait.
Only
would
if I
do
have
it.
to. But Riley Reeder, Gina Valentina can let me know if you want to market anything. But it's fine. I just don't know. Like if you're faking something and putting it on, then you can't give them what's real. And if what's real is what people are genuinely buying into because they see themselves in you, you have to pick one or the other. You either have to stay true to yourself or you have to be a fuckboy and create the world and the
Why
character.
Yeah, I think it
Why you gotta
eventually.
pick one?
Because they're not congruent in the same story. If I'm posting my videos and I'm in front of a Mercedes Maybach and I have a diamond chain on, which is really just fucking moissanite and all this shit, and then I'm living at home with my fucking grandma,
Yeah.
though that's not the same story. That's not the same person. One of those stories is true.
Yeah, and I think
Okay.
eventually, and I think that's the thing. I think that's the game, and I don't think it's to do that, but I think the game is to just fully commit to being the bum you are.
I agree with you. That's my take on it.
Yeah,
That's my hot take.
and that's my hot take. So I mean, you watch any of these kids that are fucking famous on Twitch, famous on Kick, any of that shit. They're fucking streaming in their fucking parents' house.
Yeah.
As we are right now, streaming in my parents' house, and eventually, they're fucking kicking it with Aiden Ross.
And streaming in their own
And
house.
streaming in their own house. And I've watched the videos of these kids like talking about when they had the fucking 8 people watching their fucking live stream.
Mhm.
And now they got fucking hundreds of thousands of people watching their live streams.
Yeah.
It's like it happens faster for some. It doesn't happen for some
For
ever. For most. And you just, I think it just gets back to the same thing. You have to be okay knowing that it might not fucking work out for you, that you might just be fucking poor, that you put all your money into something that never paid off,
Yes.
but you enjoyed it.
Mhm.
And that's a shitty reality, but that's called life. Like, dude, half do you think?
Talk about a kick in the balls.
Yeah, but like, I think that's everyone, bro. I think that's every generation before us. You think my dad's dream was to go fucking work for some IT software shit? Fuck no. But eventually he fucking wanted to get a chick pregnant and wanted to have kids. And once you want to make, then you have to have money, and then you have to do certain shit. You think that was his dream? Fuck no. You think your freaking parents? You know what I'm saying? Like,
or stuff like that, or like this was not.
This is not
the
in their-
manager of this place.
that was never in their cards.
Yeah.
They never thought that was going to be their reality.
Yeah.
They thought they were going to be better than that. And I can't say that that's a bad thing.
No,
you know,
no,
like I'm not
it's
talking
not.
down on them, but it's just that was never in their cards.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like for all I know, that's gonna be fucking me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like that could very well be a reality for any one of us.
Yeah.
It's like when you put all your shit into a unlikely dream,
Yeah.
it's like there's consequences that come with it if it doesn't work out. And you have to know that that's okay. And you have to just really stand on your business and know. Or you have to just say that that's not okay and quit the shit and go
And
fucking
go
do something that
get
can
the
make a
IT
lot of
job.
go get the IT job
Yes.
that you can make some money in, or go fucking do whatever bullshit that you can actually go be a manager of someplace. Even go fucking work at Trader Joe's full time and become a manager one day.
They pay
and
really
make
good.
$100 grand. Exactly. Like that's a lot of people's reality.
When do you think is a good time that you should tap, if ever?
I think it comes down to, I don't think there's ever a good time to tap. I think there's a good time. I think there's eventually a time where you realize that it might not work out the way that you thought it would work out. Like I think you could still be the fucking person, the manager of Trader Joe's, and release music. But I don't think you're ever expecting it to go.
Yeah.
And maybe that's when it does go.
Right.
It's because you're not expecting it anymore, and it's like literally you're just doing it because even though we are doing it right now just for the sole love of it, we do have an expectation out of it to some degree, right? But maybe you have to fully just release it. I mean, fully let it go.
Yeah.
And be like, whenever I drop shit is when I drop shit. I might release I might release one song every fucking 5 years. And maybe that one song eventually will fucking be, and maybe it still won't, but you're still just fucking doing it, and
okay.
You just have to be okay with it. You have to be okay with it. And I mean, that's like I wouldn't say that's like near where I am right now, but it's like that's to the point of all of us having our jobs that we're doing. It's like that's our day. Like most of our day, most of the days of the week is spent doing. Most of our time during the week is spent doing that, and it's bullshit. And it sucks. But I realize I have to fucking do it.
But you wouldn't be able to do what we're doing and put money into anything if you didn't do that.
Let alone and I'm still fucking living at home.
Right.
And I'm still not even able to do all the shit that I would want to do.
Yeah.
You know? But it's reality. Like reality is a bitch sometimes. Like but you gotta find there's still beauty in that bitch. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
You gotta find a way to fuck her.
Seriously though, just don't let her fuck you. Don't let her fuck you, and you gotta find a way to still fuck her.
I'm gonna give a hot take and a piece of advice. I've been thinking about this lately. I think it's relevant for all of us. Amidst all of that same concept of what we're talking about, being okay with how everything goes, but having these dreams and stuff. Living in a reality in which you're not doing something that fulfills you in terms of your work, not fulfilling you the way that you hope that your music will fulfill you once that you achieve the whatever it is, get some listens, recognition, you're doing shows, those things fulfill you. You have to find things in your current state of reality that do fulfill you. Otherwise, you're just going to be waiting and wishing on something that may or may not ever come. So I think what I've narrowed down in my head, the version of what that is beyond notoriety is building a community and having friends. So when you have something like this is something that I can look for that will fulfill me up.
This is my exact community, my only friends.
Yeah, same.
I don't have much more than this room right
same
here.
Same here. But but that's enough for me to say there's two other people who think similar to me that also are on this type of life journey type of thing. And that's enough to keep me going on that path rather than tapping. It's like I have a community that I can come back into,
Yeah.
So whatever you're doing, whatever your interests are, I would urge people, because what I think society needs is more communities and people coming together, because then one community will find another community and those communities actually can become a bigger community.
I mean, y'all both just took us to church right now. I don't know if y'all know. I just felt the Holy Spirit.
Come about it, man. But it makes sense. It was
because even think
it's 100%.
Because think about it. You have this is a small version of community, right? Success. What are you still doing? You're creating a big community and family. So what we all really crave is intimacy on some level, which is why we're making music, which is giving you a piece of our heart and souls in hopes that you see us for who we are, because we want to be known and loved and accepted on a small scale, on a big scale. All these things are understood, whatever it is,
And to me, I think that's the biggest thing is at the end of the day to be able to have that community where you can go, hey, community, I'm going to be here and I'm going to, give you a show.
Mm-hmm.
And that community comes out and you guys get to, spend time with each other. You go up there, you share your art, and then you get done and then you talk with them and you hang with them and you guys,
Or on the opposite note is if things never go, you know that you're not alone. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like other people were thinking the same way. I wasn't an idiot doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
Like we all had a hope and a dream. Like I'm not crazy for thinking in my hopes and my dreams and believing in myself. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like other people do that too.
Yes.
Like
Other people
I shouldn't feel ashamed of being, because there aren't many people that do that. You know, that
Yeah.
really put their life
Yeah.
on the line, so called, in that way.
Yeah.
Like only so many people really have nuts that
To
fucking
literally
hang that big to literally put your shit
Put
on
your
the line
life
like
on
that.
the line.
Because like I said, if it's not a go by 40, by 30, but by a certain point, some people think that like, yo, you're done.
The
It's like,
percentages are very, very,
they get lower and
Yeah.
lower. It's like being a 50-year-old rapper ain't gonna happen.
bro.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I mean,
but
the odds
it's hard to start. So then what? Start a new fucking career at fucking
Yeah.
50. It's
Right.
like
Into it, and
But it just didn't work out.
and so it let me hear.
But most people would
But
give up on that.
what you
before
just
they
said-
could even
but
say
Before
that.
they could even get it
What you
changed.
just said was actually really beautiful, though, because the way you just said that is if you were talking to somebody after the dream didn't come true, was with zero bitterness, right?
Yeah.
So you shouldn't feel bad that you did it, right? Because like you said,
That's
I
my
wasn't
point.
wrong for doing it.
I
So
know
then you
people
can
who
look
feel that
back
same
on
way.
it with fondness and joy. So why would you rob yourself of the joy and the peace and the happiness and experiences now just because you're not getting all the things that you want to?
Mhm.
Then you're not really living in the moment. So I think if you can live in the moment, I don't know. You're gonna be able to hold on to those glimpses of the positive things that do exist here. Otherwise, if it's all what you want to come, you will become a bitter person. You will
Right.
spite other people. Your worldview will change. So yeah, bitterness is a terrible bitch.
I think it's easy to succumb to it when you feel like, well, if you guys had just done this more, then I could,
Mhm.
like sound like a cartoon almost. It's like if you guys have just supported me more, then I could.
Right.
Have
Exactly.
And I think that's how it's easy for bitterness to say. But to say in your journey, I think it's a dope thing to look forward in your journey and say, hey, if I roll this dice and I know I gotta hit 7, and I don't hit 7, well, you know what? I'll live with the results. And that, I think, was what makes it easy to go, listen, I know what the chances are. And if it doesn't work, then it is what it is.
And the odds are against you.
And
The odds are against you.
Oh,
You always have to- But
But
you don't win for that. It's not-
Which means the roll over, you say, I'm going to stand here. And if I get stabbed, I get stabbed.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather get stabbed and die being like, try rather than, ooh, you know?
Yeah.
Like, have your way with me. Because that's just what it is. Like, fuck that. Live shit on your own terms. What else is life?
Pride.
Pride? Because you're proud of the way you live? Type of thing where we go back to something.
Like we're talking about the pride.
Yeah.
That was it. You just said it. I'd rather stand here and stand on what I stand on and be stabbed than roll over and just get up.
Yeah.
And you can have that without having an ego.
Yes, agree. We were talking about, it's a very interesting conversation. We're talking about language and how what different words mean different, blah, 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 blah. Like what the difference between ego and pride is. We talked about like how pride was referred to in the Bible and how pride doesn't always mean the same thing. Like pride comes before the fall type of thing. But then there's also, I take pride in my work or whatever. You know, I take pride in being a father, you know. So what is pride and what is ego? His point was ego is actually what I thought in my head as pride. Like the word that I'm choosing for the emotion of what pride is to me, like boastful and things like that, is really in his head ego. So it's like he's saying basically you can have both ego and pride, or you could just have pride or ego.
Yeah.
Like there's a differential.
For
You know?
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And there's times when they like are together. They like are, like in the diaphragm in the middle part, they're
Yeah,
like
I think
together.
it's that they could be like that. I don't
but
think they're ever
they're-
together. I don't think they could be interchanged, but
Yeah.
there's gray areas
Yeah.
within it.
That's what I was getting at I was wrestling with him. I'm like, so where are the differences in those things? Like, is ego really what I'm calling pride? and that's just its own thing, whereas pride could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on the context. You know.
So then
I think only pride can have both connotations with ego.
Ego's just negative connotation. Yeah. I would agree with that. And that's why I came to the consensus of after that conversation as well.
And it's not to say that I don't think that there's times when you don't need your ego. I would say that your ego is necessary, but it's the way that you go about things should be done with pride. So like I need my ego to fuel me to do things, to have pride in.
I don't know.
I still think that is just the gray area of pride.
Yeah.
I think that's just being prideful of yourself.
Where's positive? Because I think at some point.
But if you're walking around with your ego,
yeah. Well, you gotta have a little bit of ego.
I think there's a difference between ego and confidence. I think that's the same thing. Pride and ego are different, and ego and confidence are different.
Ego's like the false version of confidence in most cases, I feel like.
I don't think it's necessarily false, but it's the more
inflated.
Yeah, it's the dickish version of it. When confidence, anytime you're using ego in a positive way, you're just your confidence.
Yeah.
Okay. I can see that. I see it like this. When Lil Wayne came on the track and he said, "I am the best rapper alive," that was an ego statement. Because there's no way to quantitatively say you are the best rapper alive.
It's just purely what your thought is.
But that was
how you're feeling.
That was the one thing that helped propel him into actually becoming what most people thought was the best rapper alive. Because it took that
yeah.
You can't just say something in a dick way.
But that's what I'm also saying is that you're but he didn't go through it pridefully.
Exactly.
But that's why it's different.
Yeah, and they're different.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. It's sometimes like I don't think
ego is needed. The ego is needed.
The ego is needed. Not saying that it should be the front runner, but it is needed somewhere in there to fuel you in other areas, like in areas.
Yeah, for sure. But I think there's times to be a dick, and I think there's times not to be a dick. So I think it's to that same degree.
And most of the time, you don't need to.
You don't need to be a dick.
There are
other times you need to. Exactly. So I think that's exactly what it comes down to.
Yeah, I'm gonna read something for you guys because I don't know if when you guys were in school, did you guys study Sigmund Freud at all, like in high school? Yeah. And you talk about like the id, the ego. I'm just gonna read a small thing because this was like the first time.
Stuff I'll be like, damn, you might have been right. But
I'm gonna read this and I'm gonna get your thoughts. So it's gonna give me about a minute. So the difference between the id and the ego. The id is primitive, the impulsive part of our psyche driven by instincts and desires, while the ego, they're saying, is the rational conscious part that mediates between the id's demands, and which is your primitive, and the realities of the external world. The ego balances the id's desires with the super ego's moral guidance, striving to maintain harmony within the human psyche. So here's an example. Let's see an interaction between them. So someone who's on a strict diet is tempted by a box of delicious donuts at work. The id impulsively desires immediate gratification by indulging in the donuts. At the same time, the super ego reminds the person of a commitment to a healthy lifestyle and instills feelings of guilt for considering breaking the diet. The ego then mediates between the id's cravings and the super ego's moral standards, potentially allowing the person to eat just one donut as a compromise, demonstrating its role as maintaining psychological balance amidst conflicting desires. So, I think they're just saying different terminology. So, but like words, don't really fucking matter. So you have like, it's almost like there's levels to it. You have your moral high ground, you have your primitive instincts, and then you have your conscience or your ego, which they're saying is like your scale, you know? Because I think you're probably right. Like, the ego is always there, just like pride to some degree exists within you. It's just how do you use it and actualize it, you know? Because you can put it on both ends of the spectrum. So they're not necessarily evil or non-evil.
I felt like I was back in high school, like when we were reading.
You were.
I can tell I was listening, but
yeah,
I was thinking it's too many words.
Fuck you, Mr.
that's where my head went.
That's
Completely.
too-
I'm just so real.
Yeah.
Like it was just a lot of words just rambling. I was like, this is why I tried to make it so simple. Yeah, but like that's the what we were saying before. Like, said right after was just like get in this better term. Yeah, because that's like some bullshit. He's boxing. But for real, like teachers can make it so much easier on kids, but they want to make it so complicated. Because they probably don't understand either. Why? Because they want the kid to actually understand.
No, it's a curriculum.
They probably would rather teach them. That's my point. Like, it's no wonder that the guys that you're fucking selling your fucking dividends to don't know the dividends. That's like explain it to them in terms they can understand, so that when they get older, they can actually apply it in their life. But instead, they're gonna teach you geometry and fucking dumb shit. That will never. Yeah.
Well, and I think that whoever designed it believes in something that is a little that's a little higher in thinking process, which is if I make things shitty, the roses will rise out of the shit, and those who are not roses will just stay shit.
Yeah. I think that's how they keep most people happy.
Yeah. And you know, when I was younger, I felt like, why would they do that? That's so terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But then a part of me starts to believe too, like, well, kind of like a conversation that we had in the desert, where it's like, well, part of me feels like, in order, like this, I'm gonna go deep with this.
Hold on.
In order for God to actually show itself, you have to have shitty things happen. God can't show itself if everything is wonderful. Because then you can't see God. And so the easiest way for God to show itself being real is there has to be shitty things and then good things happen in spite of those shitty things. That is when God can be prevalent. So for people who don't believe in whatever you call a higher power, whatever the name of it is, if you can't believe in something that's greater than you, it's because you haven't gone through enough shitty things and come out on the end and been like, wow, I made it out of that shit. And that's why America, because I can't speak for other countries because I ain't been here, but as for this country, the reason why we have this false sense of us believing in something greater, and we don't really, is because we don't have any problems. And our problems that we do have are so small compared to other problems that other countries probably have, that we
say that we believe in God, but we really don't. We don't even know God's real. And it shows in the people. We don't know that God's real because we haven't gone through enough shitty things, and then good things happen in spite of those shitty things. And that's why we love stories of people overcoming. Sure. Like that's why America loves Simone Biles, because she started out as being homeless, and then these people adopted her, and look at her story. We love those stories, like The Blind Side, and shit like that, because we don't experience them enough in our own life, and that's why we don't know that God's real. So we need, we need it to be shitty, so the roses can grow, so that somebody in the shit can go, well, there is a God.
I guess my question is, wouldn't you think, from God's perspective, that He would set it up that more roses are able to be formed from the shit than not staying shit? Like the same degree that I agree what you're saying about on school, right? But I feel like they should set it up that the majority that more people than not turn into the roses than stay shit. When the opposite is, I think only a few people actually understand what the fuck is going on in school, can rise from that shit instead of staying shit. When ideally, when I think of God, I think He would want us to, the majority, not majority, but more people to see the positive or become the positive.
Yeah, I think that God wants actually all people. That's my point. That's where my point is that not where free will comes in, right? Like you're either I choose to be a rose or live in the shit. That's not an education system. Okay. I'm going back to education. Yeah, it's like you don't agree with it, like you think it should be like that. Like that's where I kind of disagree. I would think that they would, even though I kind of get what you're saying, because I get what you're saying. Like overall scheme of things. Yeah. I would think in any of these ways that are shit is that you would want more roses than yes. Yes, totally. What you do is you mess up the height and the maximum when you do that. Like if you do that, you shrink the max and the minimum. Meaning, if it doesn't need to be at least 50-50. What do you mean? No. What I'm saying is like if there's more roses that are sprouting up out of the shit, and there's only a small amount of shit, what happens is the maximum height comes down. Yeah, I get you. I mean, like if we're gonna go metaphorically, then there's not enough fertilizer for those roses. Yeah. It's to the side, and now the height is people. We got a bunch of mediocre people that are because of that, we create Elon Musk. We create, yeah. That's a good illustration. Yeah. I don't know, because then you just have two people. You're talking about like the will of the school or the will of those people and then the will of God. I don't think that they're the same. You know, I mean, I don't think the school system is like part of, but that's part of this, right? Yeah, but to me, I see it as like I understand the psychology behind what they're doing. They do it in a terrible way, but I get the psychology of what they're doing, and what they're basically sacrificing the most for the few. Yeah, they're saying, hey, you can't avoid that they're separate classes. There's going to be a difference between the upper and the lower class. Yeah. Because I've never been to China, but they say that like their school system is really good, and everybody graduates. You see videos on TikTok, and these kids like doing like cement working, and like super educated, and this is seriously. But to me, like what it creates is this, and maybe it's a good thing. Maybe I think I'm not here to judge it, but then what it becomes is there's more equality there. So then everybody becomes the same. So then you don't. That's the same point. You see what that is, right? You don't want to do that. That isn't the difference between correct. What is just so
how does anyone stand out? How does anyone make it happen?
You can't have capitalism. Everybody. There. So I don't know if it's right or if it's wrong. I'm just an observer of it, and I play it, and I see it for what it is, and I guess there's multiple ways to play the game. Yeah, so comment in the chat. Communism. Whichever one you choose, whatever side who's asking. Oh shit. Yeah. That was a good picture though that you painted. That was a good picture. That's what I'm saying. I understand. Like I used to have long talk to my uncle. We just be up just debating. I used to be like, you're just an asshole. Like how did you become this? And just live a little. And as you start to live a little, you see. Yeah, because you're not in the game then. You're outside of the game, looking in the game. Yeah. When you're in here, you're playing the game. You're in the game. But then as you start to like mature and get better, you start to step outside of the game and start to see the game for what it is. And that's where it started to make sense to me. Like, damn, like it's fucked up as it is. This system is built on it being that way. And so that's why it might not be a bad thing. And that's why I feel like if you're the debate between the people who are for president, they didn't bring up education out one time. They had nothing to say about education. They have more to say about people having abortions or not, rather than they did education. Because they don't think the education system is broken. It's only the people who are going through it who think that it's broken.
They're so far removed from it. Like their curriculum as a 60+ year old individual is way different than what a 10-year-old is going through right now. Even the curriculum that we went through is now different than what the 10-year-old, 15, 16-year-old.
Yeah, but not only that, maybe there's just nothing wrong with it.
I can see a few things wrong, but I'll hold.
But like,
Not that anything's perfect, but maybe it's just unique.
like,
Yeah, but you should include a few things in the curriculum. You know what I'm talking about.
like, you gotta make it be that so we can have those high risers. That makes the maximum super high.
Actually, like after you painted the illustration, like I don't think that's wrong. Like I think that what you're saying makes sense. And until you have a better system to put in lieu of that, then why would you change this? It's like if it's broke, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Yeah.
There's no fixing. That's why I don't do nothing.
Especially if you can't use it.
Yeah,
Like,
that's probably actually more realistic. We don't. There is no such thing.
I mean, we pay our teachers $40,000 a year.
Which is fucked.
I mean, I make more than that, sir.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
How would I go be a teacher? You know?
We need good teachers, dude. Because like, I'll even think in my early part of my life, like I had like 2 or 3 great teachers like throughout like all of my school experience. But those, I remember all of their names, and they actually change your mental state of what you're going through at that time based on if a teacher sees you or they communicate to you in a way that is different than the rest of them. That breaks you out of the matrix. Basically, that's really what it does. You're like, oh, private school again.
So they have more incentive to be
I've had a couple of public school and a couple of multiple different private schools. Yeah.
As much as I'd be like, damn, bro, they should like now I realize you can't. You have to let shit be shit so we can see what it makes.
That's not fair, actually. I do think it's unfair. I think it's like anything else. Like, I think you just fucking be what you sow, bro. It's like, yeah, it's like a kid. If you're gonna be fucked up, kid, or if you don't care, then they just if you're gonna be a kid, you're not school.
And size to say, inspired me. Hating
Yeah.
shit.
I don't think any kid likes school, but they're gonna fucking some kids just do it anyways. Yeah, I'm just not gonna do it anyway. Like, for my brother, I was gonna do it anyway.
I did it anyway. It's a requirement. I wasn't even go beyond that.
And then there's those kids too. Like, the shit has to be what it is. And then you'll see those one kids where it was like, we were like in 5th grade together, and like, why are you graduating in the senior class? And I'm a freshman. You know, like, like we're in the 5th.
Literally, bro.
We got 5th grade together, and you're graduating right now.
It's just different brains, bro. It's different brains. It's different brains of people.
Like, I'm aware. I don't have a smart brain compared to some of these.
You know,
I have a creative brain, but I don't have a technically smart.
Right, yeah, no, I think you have a smart brain. It's just not a smart brain.
Okay, well that's maybe.
Some kids, they learn.
I don't accustom to brainwashing very easily.
Yeah.
I don't learn by purely repetition of read this page, and then on this page tell me what you just read on that page. That's not how my brain works.
Yeah, some kids, like, they're just born with smarts. Like, some kids just, like,
Yeah.
they should, like, do math and shit at, like, 4 years old. Just like, how does that happen? Like, how does that even happen? But something like something in their makeup.
it's because of the, like, I'm thinking like this, all this shit that their parents went through, and like, it's just like something that ends up just happening where it's like all this shit that created this shit. Now you just get this crazy person with like 2 can just do it on.
It's
like you need it all to get that guy or that girl.
Interesting.
And someone probably doesn't do shit in their life.
And they just maybe have that gift that they use for whatever, like
Dude,
human
I
calculator
Well,
type of
I
people.
think I do this really, like, literally, you fucking say any number store, and like she like do the
Multiplication.
multiplication of it. It's like you're like 1/7 22 and 22, and she fucking like not even thinking like it just says it, and it's like also like it could be anything. And it's like I thought she's just like probably like just like a generic fucking person. She's just like a fucking regular ass person. Not even doing anything career. But, like she, you know, and it's like no, I'm thinking that's what it is. Like, I think, yeah, I think that's what it is.
You see, because to be
Yeah,
honest, like, somebody like that, I'd be like, bro, you, yes.
But like I said, it was like, what does multiplication really do for you? Like, you know,
Doing what you use it for.
yeah, but like even like all of your math skill, or all your shit, like you become an accountant, right? And like how often are you doing like 172 times 23, and then you have to go right down the spot.
Like,
You just have to just scroll down and click.
I know, like, but not only that, it's like I'm not even doing that much in accounting.
I
do it every day. 1% of like what that job is. Like in high school, like that's super cool that you could do that, but like go apply that to a career, kid. It doesn't mean fucking shit. This you can do math like multiplication.
You should do all that. It's true.
Yeah.
It's very, very
Yeah, who the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows? It's all just like a mess.
Man.
It's all a mess. The world's a mess.
and a part of you has to feel like you're special in order to want to give something more to the world. Because you can easily just be like, well, this is like I know people are like, well, this is my friend. This is like, why would I do anything else? I'm not like, oh,
Exactly.
whatever. It's like
we had that conversation before. So like, people just in their city. Just same city.
so it's like a part of you has to have a little bit of film within yourself to go inspire all this shit I feel like there's something more than I should be doing. I feel like there's something special about me that needs to be given to other people.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Either you don't see that for yourself, or you do, and you either full-fledged it, or you disqualify yourself.
Yeah.
You're like, why would the world want to hear from a little old me? I think that's just I think the best part of the lie that people lie to in the world. But I have at times. It's just like, why me? Like, you know you're special, like, but why would anyone else think that's special? You know?
Yeah.
Just based on circumstances you've gone through, or what people have told you, anything.
Chose a great word, disqualify yourself. Because you don't know
you are qualified.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're the one who does
You,
it.
yeah, you do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, you don't know.
That's why I
People
say
don't know.
finds a tree. Only classic condition.
Only one.
Just one today. One today in 2 hours.
Reaching to the blood, but I'm not listening.
So
I like that. I get one. I mean,
it might be right.
I get these ones.
At least 2 and 2 hours.
So, what's my working on any personal music right now? And now you dropped your album, don't worry about Monster. You're just gonna fall back for a sec, or what?
I've just been thinking of concepts and just being within myself, just trying to see. Normally, as soon as something drops, I'm already working on it. Interesting. But this time around, I want to focus on trying to do as many shows as possible, and then seeing what we can do with our lost shit, and just being patient because I want the next thing to be even better.
Yep.
And so I'm just trying to take a step back instead of just being all go. I'm just always writing and always making something. Take a step back, see what it is, think of concepts, check it out. Shit I never listened to. There's a dude I listen to named Artemis, and never listen to somebody I know told me about. Listen to him and it just took me down a rabbit hole. Like just hearing different things. Where do I want to go? How do I want to sound? So I've been thinking about it. I just haven't been working on it. I've just been sitting back trying to figure it out.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that's a good page.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got a name for this fucking album that you're been working on yet? That's after
I have a working title. Okay. The working title allow me to reintroduce myself, or allow me to introduce myself. Because I put out one album in, I think it was 2020, and then I did the EP in 2021. Then we did the Lost Boys album in 2022. and last year I was a virgin, and then this year I'll put out the Lion's Den, so that'll be my third album, and then no, second full length album of like solo shit. So that'll be my third full album, which I feel like is like a very like let me settle in and
Yeah.
really
Yes, junior year.
I think the first two ones have been more like discovery albums, even though it's funny after like having done music
ones by
myself. Like my
no,
solo
I'm saying album and EP or
Yeah.
album and line.
album. Oh, actually, all three. All three. Yeah, well, yeah, no,
So
good
would
one.
you say that this is sophomore year still for you, or do you say
That's a funny concept.
to like junior year? Like,
Um,
would you consider those first few albums like still freshman year, like trying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that this is like just graduated freshman coming into
So this
sophomore.
is like so the third album's
Sophomore,
like true
junior.
sophomore year.
Well, it's actually only the second full length album. The EP was only like 6 songs or something like that. First album was like 10 songs or 11 songs.
Yeah.
This one will be 10, and the next one's going to be at least 14.
Okay.
At least.
So it's a true sophomore. Like, hey, you know,
Yeah, it's like I'm about to ask
No,
that
that'll be
to
a junior. Because the headline is then it's gonna be a sophomore, but she says it's gonna
okay,
be
Yes, I guess that's true. Yeah, it's like I'm ready to ask that bitch to go to the prom with me. You know?
okay, so yeah, this is junior year. And you say I'm going for the seniors. She gonna go to the
I think the Lions Den is like looking at the bad bitch you just got asked before you wanted to ask and you don't even go to the dance. And then the junior album's like you glowed up over summer. You pop out with the 6-pack and you're like, the baddest bitch is mine.
Yeah.
That's what this next one is.
a senior.
I like that. Well,
I mean, it's all like depending on how you
Yeah.
classify.
senior year. You can
Like, we're talking about
season 2 girls.
Right.
Be like, I'm
No.
not
All I know is that the Lions Den is really great. I'm proud of it. I've sat with it for a long time now.
Yeah.
But this next year, I'm working on his hands down the best I should have ever done.
So the thing is, maybe allow me to introduce myself.
Mhm.
I like
And that's like yeah, we put out music for the purpose of putting out music. Like, let's create the brand and actually like there's storytelling on it. There's just pure bars. Like to me, I feel like this is like the most full, well-rounded album. That's like conceptually all tied in together. Concepts and themes reemerging throughout the songs. While this Lion Den album is like stuff that's just on my heart, kind of coming up. I don't think all the songs flow together perfectly. It's a compilation of half the songs, 5 songs I produce, 5 songs other people produce. This next one, I'm trying to have someone else produce the whole fucking thing. And they're all YouTube beats, by the way. So keep in mind, even at this point, you can make your beats. You can still buy your beats. Just make some dope shit.
And that's
you know, artists.
Yeah.
I can attest that listening to it, you can see what you're saying. Like listening to when you send it to me and listening to it a couple of times, I can hear what it is that you're saying. Where it's like, I see the pen, where it's like, there's places you're trying to go with it, and then you can see that there's another level that can be reached,
Right.
and then sonically you can see you trying things, and so I'm like, okay, and then also you're like, okay, I see how you're trying to just let off what you got to let off.
Yes.
And so right now you're just empty. You like it just felt like you emptied the clip real quick,
Yep.
and now you're about to reload and pull that baby back and you're ready to shoot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great way of putting it, yeah.
Because that's what I got from listening to it. It's just like, okay, I would, you know, I'll talk to you off the camera, but I'll let the people do their own assessment. I just think that you sometimes you're a little hard on yourself.
Yeah, no,
But,
yeah, absolutely agree with that. That's just how I've been my entire life. I've always had to be my own critic.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't feel like I had anybody else. Like, I don't have parents. Honestly, I love my parents both. They neither of them raised me though. Like they didn't teach me hardly anything. I pretty much had to figure it all out myself. So it's like when you're not taught something and then you have a way of thinking or going about it, while you're putting it out there for the first time, like I believe this is right, but I'm not quite sure. And once you know what is right, the things that worked and what didn't work, like this this next album, I'm just in my pocket, dude.
That's-
I'm just too comfortable. Like I almost feel like it's really not gonna be fair for a lot of people. Like they shouldn't have let me get this confident. Humbly, they shouldn't have let me get this confident because I'm not fucking.
Oh, yeah, no.
No bitch is 100% confident.
Because when I heard he's like, you know, diagnosis of it, I went into listening to it kind of with his diagnosis.
Interesting. Yeah.
So then I listened to it the first time through it, and I was like, okay, I see what he's saying. Then I listened to it again, and I thought, I think that he's maybe a little too hard than he needs to be. I think that you did a good job of saying what it is that you wanted to say, and the way that you said it, and you can just tell that there's another level that you can get to, and that's what it left me feeling like, oh, it's coming.
Yeah,
thing.
it is.
Yeah. Had some bars in there.
Oh, I definitely know that there was, but it was like it's not a complete thought. I think it's a series of different thoughts.
Yeah.
Each song is a different thought. Meanwhile, this next album is like I'm gonna tell you who the fuck you're looking at, listening to. That's what it is. Like I've reaffirmed what I know about myself to be true. I think it's. I think that there's he's heard all the songs pretty much.
Okay.
Like,
so you heard more.
It's tight, though.
Okay.
I play my voice memos and shit.
Okay.
I'm just like, no, it's I'd say right. I'd say right. That was shit. I just, but no, it's fine. I'd say, like you said, there's everything on it. There's just storytelling on it. There's bars on it. And it's just real shit. It's also the best shit he's done. For sure.
So that leads me to say that we gonna get blessed with it. You know, we get a part two or what we're doing.
What?
Half Blood Prince.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now we're getting Miss November, November 1st.
November
1st, Miss November.
Miss November.
Miss November.
Okay.
So
I can't wait.
There you go.
It's done. I mean, I'd love to get your fucking sister's fucking verse on there.
Where the fuck you at, virtual girl?
I don't know if it's gonna end up happening. Yeah, I don't know if it might have happened. That would be the only thing that technically is missing.
The only thing I would say would be, I think what happens is if you contact her, she does have this like program that she.
Yeah, she's sent me a verse on it where I would just need to extend that. Yeah,
I would, bro. I would say do it.
Yeah,
That's her verse on that song, in my opinion, makes that song. Which idea of that song was supposed to
yeah, I agree. But yeah, that shit. We type, oh, that's for damn sure. She's like, yeah, that shit. But otherwise, the fucking album's been done for a year.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I really think like we could, it could be like how Black Hippie was. We're like, we are so dope together, and every people like us together, and it comes to see us together, and then we can spawn off and do our things. And people go, damn, they're dope when they do their own shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this is
That's what's important, bro.
around these little side quests. Like, what's
it's like watching a movie or like a story unfolding, and then they come back together and they start fighting everybody, like, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
So yeah, and I feel like I want to really see it start happening like that. Like, I'm ready for you guys to punch me in the mouth. And so that's why I'm like, let me kick back, let me sit back, and let the G's go to work.
Amen. I mean, yeah. I think Bobby's gonna start recording that next album. I'm starting to record that next album. Probably next week even. But AAG moved to the studio. I don't know if you've been seeing that shit.
So I didn't know that. All I knew was I popped in on Instagram one time and I was doing my little shit, and then I clicked on his, and it said like it looked like basically he moved.
Yeah, he did. So I don't know if there's gonna be a period with
Somebody maybe, but I didn't know that at the studio.
Yeah, it probably means there's a little downtime.
Yeah, it's already above. He moved. We're living, and I don't know if the new living place is living. That's what the studio is.
That's my take on it.
That's my take on it.
Oh, what was it? To me, like I thought that the studio's just that he's now him and his lady.
No, he was living in the studio.
Well, I know he was living in the studio. I think that to me, I thought that was he's saying that he gonna get you a spot.
Yeah, no, he closed out that burning spot.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
When did you do that?
Just happened.
5 days ago.
It just happened. He didn't even tell us. Like, we didn't know. It wasn't like we knew it was gonna happen. So we were just in there.
We're just in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he was like, come to the studio. And I was like, we're going on a camping trip this weekend. Cool. I'm gonna try to come this weekend. Yeah, in 5 days next year.
Yeah.
And that's how to start recording this next album
Yeah.
that I'm writing. I think I was gonna call it Hiatus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, low information. Information.
I love that shit.
And then I saw it, we saw that shit. And then we saw it like, yeah, I just saw all that shit.
I responded to a story we posted about.
He said like he had stuff in the language I didn't know, and I was like, I don't know what any of that means, but I did see that.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know.
So I heard about Jeff and like crazy.
Okay. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, did he like mess up on the word? What is that? I had no clue, bro. No clue. And then he had something about it. I was like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's just pretty odd.
Oh, okay.
I think he's happy with whatever situation.
Taking it as a good thing, which I think is the best way to look at it.
That's how it's gonna be. Hopefully the situation will be dope. But I'm assuming that me going to the studio in 3 days is not happening.
Probably.
Okay.
But that also being said, yeah, so Mr. November fucking November 1st.
Yeah.
This will be being worked on as soon as now he's up.
Yeah.
Kill Volume 1's in works.
Yeah. Yeah, we started recording some of the bitches.
Okay.
Yeah, so there should be some like I said, you're gonna fall back, you're gonna do some shit for Kill Bill.
You know?
And
No, we come hit him in the head.
amen.
That's the end. Bruh,
What do you got?
I was like,
Final question.
I was like, is it Spanish? I was like, I had no clue Mexican. I was like, I see it. I didn't know Mexican.
Yeah, that's Mexican.
Half right.
Is it? I said that. I know that.
This girl's like Israeli, so he's been trying to like learn Hebrew and like you all.
Okay, okay. So it's like, is that Spanish?
Nah.
Look,
Right, okay.
whole different
Okay. I was like,
I don't know where
I was like, maybe not. And I saw, and I seen some with T. I was like, what the fuck is that?
you're like,
What is that? What is that?
Steve, Montana?
Oh,
Reboot City.
bro, yeah.
Fuck.
I'm telling you,
yeah. I mean,
That's like 15 minutes.
wait, oh,
15 minutes from here.
Like,
Going towards you. I think it's St. Louis.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right around that area.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
You gotta come further.
But that also being said, you should start doing like Tuesday sessions. So it's like, come here, we do a fucking thing.
Yeah.
Go back, we go to the studio, or vice versa.
Yeah.
We fucking go to the studio, on our way back, come back here. Right. Podcast.
Okay.
Like,
That makes sense.
that's
Yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, so people are I need. No.
You tell us.
yeah, we literally got time to stop. We have to go. Bro, and
And
then
he didn't say nothing.
he was like, come back to me. And I'm like, I'm gonna be out of town. And then over that weekend, he's
Yeah.
yeah. By the way, I'm gone. Yeah. But so Tarzana's, yeah, that's where I work. That's where I work. Let's 15 minutes from here.
They got a nice meeting spot out there.
Really?
That's why I
One
was
right across. You down right over by Burger King.
There's no Burger King.
It's off. No, it's right. I think it is.
Oh, that's not.
That's actually close. That's
Wait, how
right.
you spell it again?
CAR.
C-A-R.
ZA.
Oh, damn. Okay, yeah, yes. Yeah, I will.
That's
Like Tarzan had jail.
What is Tarzan doing?
It's called the View.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so yeah, it is on the.
No, I like that spot.
That's why I used to go to beauty school. Right above that.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. I like that spot.
Really?
Yeah.
been there like 6 times.
That's what the soda.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I know where it is.
Yes.
Man,
Where you
Yeah.
at?
On that point, yeah.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. But hopefully it's a good situation. Hopefully we start racking out tunes regardless.
Yes.
ASAP. Lost Boy shit. We've been doing this for 2 hours 29 minutes.
Yes,
I think
sir.
we're back on numero. Even though this is numero dos, we call it.
I know.
No.
First,
For
1.5.
1.5, got to get rid of that first one. But I hope you guys heard this. I hope you guys continue to hear us. I hope those 10 people who tried to peep us last time come back around. And I hope you double it, triple it, quadruple it, 10 times. Everybody get 100 views on this shit. If not, it's actually gonna happen. We know it. Lost Boys is the death. That's all I know.
Love you. Thank you for tapping in. Like, much to come.